Okay, I'm back. Hello. That was annoying. I hate my internet. I need to move because I don't think my internet is going to. I pay too much for my internet for this crap to happen, and yeah, I don't like that at all. Not a fan. Okay. Hello. Yeah, I'm trying to get my music going back again and everything. Ah, what a day. Okay. I am here. My internet, let's see, I have titles. I don't have captions. I don't know. We're not going to do captions today. I'm not going to be bothered. Okay. Anyway, hello. Hey, Rona. What happened? I don't know. Just internet being bad. I have no idea. Internet just doesn't like me. I don't know. No, yeah. Don't know. Internet just randomly will go out, and then it's like I reset my modem and it works again. And after I restart my computer and do all that stuff, and it's like, okay, I don't know if I think it's just like time though. I'm pretty sure if I just wait, then it still comes back. But I always just reset it anyway because it's I know that works. So it's kind of like if I'm not streaming and it goes out, which doesn't even happen very often when I'm not streaming, then I can just like wait it out and it'll come back. But with streaming, there's like a sense of urgency because I don't want to have to wait because I'm trying to stream. Anyways, it's very frustrating, and it's not really there. It's very hard to do things and troubleshoot stuff while I'm trying to stream because there's like certain like I can't break my internet connection. So it's yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. But I mean, it's happened in the past, and I tell the company like, "Oh, we'll take a look," and like, "Oh, nothing seems to be wrong." Well, no crap, your service sucks. That's what's wrong. Every time I've called them, I mean, it isn't like a rare thing. I mean, it happened last year. It always like it's happened before. It's just yeah, they're garbage. Anyway, but yeah, so there's that. Nice, solid, upbeat stream. Focusing on the positive. Anyway, I'm not frustrated. I'm not annoyed. You can tell. But yeah, how are you, Rona? I hope you're well. How about change? I can't. There's like no other internet providers in my. There's only wireless internet providers, which are even more unstable. I live in a small city with like literally one internet provider. Technically, I think there's a few other options, but they're like literal well not literally dial up. They're like even lower speeds and just they're even supposed to be worse. So like technically there are other options, but for streaming I need a decent enough internet, and this is the only one that gives me the anyway. I mean maybe I can relook. Maybe there's a new company that's moved in within the last year. I don't know, but yeah, I need to investigate more. But I can't do that on stream, obviously, so not really a matter to worry about at the moment. But yeah, it's a little frustrating when internet goes out and you're streaming. Technical stuff always gets under my skin a little bit. I don't know if that's the right expression, gets under your skin. I always feel like that's for creeping you out, but this is more just annoying me. But yeah, I hope you're doing well, Rona, and everyone else. And thanks for being here despite my crummy internet. All right, I'm going to try and draw some stuff with happy, sunshiny colors. Some pinks and reds and all the stuff. Okay, here we go. Nice colors, nice, happy, sunny colors. What happened, LMAO? Internet. Internet just being bad. Ah, happy colors. Yeah, trying to. Trying to keep it nice and warm. Vana, how are you? And Sumi, hello again. And Vana, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just, yeah. Okay. But yeah, I want to do some vertical environments today. I'm feeling it. Feeling something to change it up a little bit. Hmm. All good. Feel recovered from the weekend's crappy sleep. Oh, nice. That's good. That is really good, Vana. I'm happy. Happy for you. Also, let's do something. Let's add in some dark color, like dark purple. I use purple as a base a lot for like my dark value. I think Skittle does that too. Maybe he could confirm or deny. But I feel like purple as a base dark color is like, I don't know, I just like it. Hey Joe, it's been a while. Renita streams, how are you? It has been a while. I am okay. Just annoying internet issues and stream struggles and random starting late because I was on hold with the bank. Just dumb, just stuff that I don't like doing. Also, I just did my taxes, and that's annoys me. Like, I hate doing those things. And yesterday was, or kind of today was like doing all this like paperwork stuff. Oh my God, I hate it. It stresses me out. I should have not done that before stream. It just stresses me out. And it's not even that stressful, but it's like I just looking at paperwork and numbers just make me nauseous. Like actually make me not feel good. It's horrible. We all yes, but my internet consistently has problems because the provider is terrible. I think that's the issue, and I think my building might have like electrical problems, which might also be one of the actual reason of why my internet randomly will not like will fall off and just die. I think it's because there might be electrical issues where like somehow the modem loses power because electricity to it. I don't actually know, but I might that's my leading theory. And and internet companies are super predatory in that like if they don't know, they're gonna offer you solutions that make you pay them. So for example, I have my own modem, and it is better and it has wireless, so that's a thing. Whereas the ones they provide, you can't get wireless through them. So anyway, I have my own modem. It's much nicer than any that they provide. But I think last time they were there, they're like, "Well, we can't be sure if it's not the modem." It's like, and this was like literally a month after I got it, and I wasn't having issues at this point or anything. It was different internet issues. Like I had literally called them, and then in that time before they came, I got a modem, and they're like, "Oh well, we can't be sure it's not this, but you can pay us, and we'll hook up our own." It's like, no, that's not. It's not the modem. It's literally new, and I was having problems before I got the modem. This is you, but they don't know what the problem is, and so they just try to like pin it on this one thing that they. It's just very annoying. They don't. It's not that they've like, oh, we're showing that your modem is malfunctioning, right? It's not. They're not. They don't say that. Right? It's more like, oh, well, we don't see any problems on our end, but it's probably like then they just kind of throw out their random thing. So it's like I'm pretty sure it's electrical, but I don't know what I mean other than just moving. I don't know. It's annoying. I'm annoyed. Can you tell? Does it come across in my voice? Do I sound annoyed? It probably isn't very often that I sound annoyed on stream. Anyway, but yeah, Renita, how are you? How have you been? It's hope you've been well. I don't want to like drag down the vibe of the stream, but dang, I'm gonna blame taxes. I'm gonna blame taxes for the annoyance. I've been well. I've traveled to Mexico to visit your boyfriend. Oh, very cool. I also recently did some traveling. I've been staying here. Oh, 4 months staying. That's cool. That is a long time. That is super cool. Oh, so you're in Mexico right now. That's cool. And I'll leave at the end of March thing. Where do you normally live? If you don't mind me asking, or like what country? I don't know. I don't remember if I ever knew. I don't know anymore. Maybe this is I live in Argentina. Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. That's neat though. Sue me. Is that what people know about Argentina? Is Messi? I don't know anything about soccer, but I do know the name Messi. I didn't know he was from Argentina. I knew absolutely nothing about him. I assume you're talking about Lionel Messi, right? Isn't that the footballer or soccer player or whatever you want to call it? Probably, I guess everybody calls it soccer. Everybody calls it football. I mean, outside of the U.S. Yeah, I don't know anything about any of them. Any. I actually do like soccer though. It's one of my more favorite sports. If I had to have a favorite sport, is it gone? Wait, what's gone? My stream? Did I crash again? No, I'm still here, right? Is it? No, I think I'm here. Oh God, this is giving me panic, not actual panic attacks, but like it's making me stress. I think I'm here. I hope so. I don't want to go anywhere. I like it here. No, 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 it's fine. It's fine. Nothing you can do about it. Ah, internet, you have one job. Stay connected. Stay connected, please. Okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to sketch out some simple ideas, some compositions, trying to find something fun to paint. I don't typically do a lot of these tall paintings, so I think it's gonna be fun for a change to do these taller environment paintings. You guys are laughing, but it really is stressful. It really, really is stressful when internet goes out. And just having problems that are essentially out of my control in the moment. Ooh, I hate it. Again, it's not that big of a deal, but it does annoy me. Also, because I like the stream quality is something that I feel like if like I care about and then I want to make it not suck. And in trying to do that, it's like there's still this unavoidable problem. Joe, did you know that I am stuck on first digital art? What do you mean you're stuck on your first digital art? Finished last week. What do you mean you're stuck on it? Oh, you are suck on first digital art. Oh no, oh, you are suck on it. What do you mean you are suck on it? Like you're not happy with where you are? I mean, if you've only what do you mean by that? Like if you've only done one digital artwork, then I mean, I not to be a jerk, but I mean, is that's kind of expected, right? I mean, you shouldn't you typically won't like most of your paintings, right? I don't I think that's pretty standard. You're not gonna, if you've only done one painting and you're new, I mean, just keep doing it. Keep going, you know, make more, figure out what you don't like about it. If you can diagnose it, continue onward. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it does suck not liking your own work, right? It's never a good feeling. And I think, I don't know, I guess for me, I've slowly learned to, it's okay not to like all your stuff because you're going to do more paintings tomorrow and you can always focus on improving them, or you can learn, like, there's always something to learn from, or just trying something different, maybe do an iteration of it, and you know, eventually get to something that you do like. But I also realize that everyone gets, you know, annoyed and stressed at different things, right? I'm stressing about random internet issues, and some people stress about, you know, their paintings. It's I feel like it's yeah. Saw it on Discord. Okay, let's see. Let me attempt. Thank you for the follow. Flushed floorboard. I'm gonna assume it's floorboard because yeah. Please tell me how it is, honestly. I mean, I'm gonna be honest right now before I even see it. If you are a beginner and this is your first digital painting, you have an entire lifetime of painting ahead of you, right? Like, I mean, I know that's extremely broad, but like, it's not going to do me any good to tell me, oh, go work on these. Like, you just got to start painting, man. I think that's the only thing. Your mic, no, it's not it's not my mic suppression. Yeah. For me, I don't like my work until like 6 to 7 years after I graduate art. Yeah, I mean, it's always gonna be a struggle, right? I mean, there's always like that's kind of how you improve, right? You do work, you figure out essentially what you don't like about it or what you like about it, but you kind of have to figure out what's not working because you don't want to do those same things again, right? If you have things that you're doing that are making it not look good, identifying those and essentially stop doing those things is one of the best ways to improve, in my opinion. And it can be a slow process. I mean, it's just a matter of like I don't know. I mean, I think if your first painting you ever did was like, this is wonderful. I mastered this, right? I'm so good. Look at me go. Right? I don't think you're gonna have the like how are you gonna improve? Like what do you have to find things that can be improved, and by looking for tons of things that can be improved, you're gonna not like how to me it's very hard to both like my painting and also see all of its mistakes. Why not? Then I would just fix them, right? If I could perfectly identify everything I don't like about it, I would just fix them right there, and then I would like my painting again. So what I mean, almost I don't know, I feel like almost by definition of identifying mistakes and trying to get better, you're not always going to like the outcome of your painting. Or at least you're going to see things that you feel like you can do better. And I think that's the goal, is just keep on moving forward. Ready to stream? Is that possible? I didn't know it was possible. I'll have in mind when streaming too. Oh no, I'm just trying to get Joe to turn the thing off because I like to hear his keyboard clicks. You're all good. Yeah, Katz just really likes ASMR. Katz, you know there's an entire just kidding. There's an entire YouTube category of ASMR videos. Just search up ASMR. I'm sure you'll find some stuff. I agree. When I really like what I'm doing, it usually means I'm stuck or missing something. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's another thing is to, if you are somebody who likes everything that you do, right? You could, I guess, a system that you could adapt would be to find somebody who is willing to tell you stuff and you just blindly listen to them, right? Which again, I don't think that's the best. Joe Sass. No, I hope it. I mean, I'm not trying to be sassy. I'm. I'll be honest. I am a little bit annoyed at the not at Kath, just at my internet lately, and just today in general was annoying. So, yeah. I hope it's not coming across as too annoyed. But no, I get Kath was making a joke. I do actually like ASMR. I just like I do not actually like ASMR. I just like this ASMR. Okay, that's good. I'm glad you like my unintentional ASMR. Uh, Neo, how are you doing? But yeah, I haven't looked at your art yet because I'm still not in Discord because I hadn't loaded up from when I restarted my computer. Let me take a look. But yeah, I mean, typically the things, especially if you're a beginner, it's gonna be things like, well, one, just keep painting and look at other people's art, look at photos, do copies, try to just understand, simple stuff. But also, if you wanted to get more technical, there's fundamentals, right? There's perspective, right? If you're doing environments, you can always learn perspective. Perspective's always going to help you. ASM art, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think it's hard to give. Like, I don't think if you're an actual here again, I haven't seen your. No, this is so cute. Hold on, Jacob Messick. This is adorable. That you posted an art corner like 3 hours ago. I don't know if you're here. There's an art festival. That is absolutely adorable. Okay, let's take a look at the art though. Um, oh, Sumi, I actually think this is really good. If this is your first digital painting, this is extremely good. Like, yeah, I mean, keep doing it. I mean, same thing, same stuff still applies though. Keep on painting, keep on working at it. I think it's great. Um, yeah, no no what do you call it? Nothing really negative. I mean, there's always gonna be things you can work on, like adding variety and subtlety to to skin and to text as a texture, right? A lot of textures have a lot of subtlety because they have little shifts of lighting and plane changes that give them warm and cool lighting. I mean, skin is a good example of this, right? You because it has different plane changes and it's somewhat shiny but not really shiny. It picks up all the colors from around it. So like there's always stuff you can do with hue shifts and like in the shirt area there's an occlusion shadow and that kind of thing. There's always stuff you can do, but I think in general, yeah, I think you're doing great. I like it. Okay, I need some tea. Maybe that's why I'm cranky. I haven't had my tea this morning. No, I hope I don't sound too cranky, but I am a little, I don't know, irritable maybe is the right word. And I don't even know why. It's like when people tell people, "Oh, just stop worrying about it or just stop being annoyed." It's like, "No, no, I'm like this today." Jacket, how are you, Jean Jacket? I need tea now that you mention it. Yeah, I mean, tea is good. It's good to be hydrated, good to have tea. I don't know, warm beverages just make me feel good. Uh, how's it going? Okay, I am going to continue on adding just random shapes up here. I think I'm going to keep today's paintings really simple, and I'm probably not going to have a crazy long stream, probably like 3 hours or 3.5 hours max. I'm not going to go anywhere near the full 4, I don't think. Joe, how to download Clip Studio brushes? Um, my brushes or just brushes in general? There is a marketplace you can use, and there's free brushes. I have my own brushes there. It's okay, Joe. It's good to be a little cranky sometimes. Can't be all fun and rainbows every day. No, but typically, if I'm like, I can at least get into a good mood for stream. Like it's the least I can do. I don't know how. What do you mean how? So there's brushes there. You'll end up having to download them, and then you literally drag and drop them into your tool presets. So like, see how I have like brush subtool, and you might even have like a watercolor one or India ink or whatever the defaults are. You can literally make your window here. Well, I'm not going to do it right now, but you can make your window smaller and literally just drag and drop the files directly into this. It's very simple to drag and drop brushes into Clip Studio. Yeah, but it has to be the brush file itself, right? Not the like the zip file or whatever. Um, but yeah, it's very easy. until it doesn't work. Then it's not so easy, but troubleshooting stuff always sucks. Ooh, I have an idea. Okay, I got an idea for painting. So one thing that one thing that I've been looking to do with environment art lately, and some artists do it better than others, and I think it's super subtle, which is why I always struggle with it. But it's when you have like a hill, for example, and you want to make hills in the background that go upward, instead of just making it look like you failed at perspective and you have this like, here's the horizon line and like that, you actually make sure that you can see, for example, if your eye line is up here, that you make it so you can see the tops of these shapes. Then in the background, you're not going to be able to see as much of the top, right? Because our eyes are basically at this level, and then up here you can't see the top, right? So you actually change how much ground you can see. So like if you wanted to do steps, right, that go upward, you would, then you can do your steps. But basically the idea is that you'd be looking down at these steps down here, and then you'd be looking up at these steps up here. And that's something that I think is hard to keep consistent over a whole painting. Like if you're doing a whole lot of tiered stuff and just lots of different little levels and layers and hills and slopes, to keep this little, like where your eye line is, really, really consistent. Like I have a tendency to come up here and start doing stuff like this, but if we've already established that my eyes are here, I shouldn't be able to see the top of this hill. And that's something that I struggle with it. And I want to get better at that, sort of this just planning or painting in an intuitive way, which is kind of what I do. I mean, I have, it's not just intuitive. It's based on stuff, my understanding and practice that I've done. But at some point, it becomes intuitive. But I want to sort of drill that into my head, so I can make interesting elevation changes just very simply. Anyway, thank you for the follow, Professor Oaks. What if we do like something? Thumbnail King, blessed colors and comps, thanks. How are you doing? Thumbnail King. I don't know about king, but I mean, these are thumbnails, and I appreciate the kind words. I wouldn't, yeah, no, I don't think I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate it. Let's make this way taller. And we'll put some nice purples underneath, some lighting or something. I don't know. Something like that. Just for fun, maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure if that works. Hey, thank you, Disidentiq. How are you? Hi, I want to offer. Oh, wow, that's yeah. Thanks, Kath. I was gonna say thank you for the follow. Is there a way for me to, like unfollow someone or forcefully unfollow someone? Yeah, I don't want your promotion. I assume you're a bot, but no soliciting. I didn't actually catch the whole message, but yeah, it definitely looks like soliciting. Just ban. Yep, it's a bot. It's a bot. Almost certain. And even if it's not, still, same rules apply to non-bots. Just because you're not a bot doesn't mean you can suddenly be spammy and annoying, right? So like I wouldn't even feel bad if I found out it was a human. And thank you, Kath. Or whoever banned it. Looking to greatness to keep the creative juices flowing. No, that's very kind of you. Well, I wouldn't call myself greatness, but I appreciate the kind words. Banhammer. Yeah, you were quick with that. I'm always amazed that you actually look at chat. Like I mean, yeah, because I don't always look at chat. I listen, and so I hear the streamer read, and then if there's something interesting that the streamer says, then I'll respond. Speaking of follow bots, so I had this thing. Okay, some people I think. Okay, so I was on the artist lounge. No, I was on Twitch subreddit, which I realize this is a terrible place to be. If you want to get like stupider, you can read posts in those places. I guess that's like Reddit for you in general. But anyway, there was a post about like I don't even know what the actual post was about, but somebody was responding and they were in the conversation of like somehow follow bots is always a thing, like people getting raided by fake raids and stuff and spammed, and it's a constant conversation on that Reddit, right? Especially when new people experience it for the first time, like, oh my god, I just got raided by bots. What do I do? And understandably, it's annoying. It's worth freaking out about if you don't know what's going on. But anyway, somebody was like, they also I notice all the time when people who will raid with like 100 people will raid and only 3 will have their uh their raid call. I know that all their viewers are bots, and I'm thinking that sounds a lot like normally when I raid, I forget to tell people to post the raid call, and so there's only like 3 people who remember because it's like the regulars or whatever, and like typically that's like what happens in my streams. I'm like, so I respond to them, I'm like, oh my god, I hope people aren't jumping to the wrong conclusions about my stream. Like, I don't have bots here, but I also people aren't always spamming the raid call. Like sometimes there's only like 3 to 5 of us. It's like that's just like, oh my god, like yeah, no, there's definitely bots, but there's also lurkers and people like to just listen and or AFK or whatever, right? Like they click the stream, like, oh, this is interesting, I'm gonna work along. Like maybe even especially in art streams because people are doing art and they're not actively typing anyway. So that's a thing. Yeah, it feels normal to me. So I was like, oh my god, if you are like, so anyway, the reason I brought this up is now I know there are people who will jump to the conclusion that when we raid them, that we're bots. There are people that think you're a bot. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. Even if one person thinks that, like, there's probably others, right? This is what I've learned about online. If one person has this crazy idea, other people probably do too. And don't get me wrong, there definitely are channels out there that are probably just follow bots. Anyway, yeah, I just thought it was an interesting thing. I stream so late, I try not to raid. Is that a faux pas? If all those I admire are offline, also apparently I need to raid a raid emote. No, I don't think it's a. I do be gen bot sometimes. No, I don't think it's bad not to raid, but I think you're doing yourself a disservice because I think raiding other people introduces them to you, and it over time you start. It's like I think it's just part of like human psychology, right? If I'm constantly rating your stream, at some point, if I'm online when you end, you're like, oh, well, they always raid me. They're super kind. Maybe I should raid them back. And it kind of starts bridging communities. Like me and Skittle, for example. I mean, mostly I just raid him because he's always online when I end. I mean, typically it is one-sided as well, but it kind of starts fostering little communities where there's overlap in streams. And Vaxie, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. 15-month thing. But yeah, no, raids really do help your stream. I think some people maybe have the false like idea that raiding is bad because it makes your viewers discover somebody else who's potentially better or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what the thought process is. But no, raids are good. Raids help so especially in art. So much of art is the community. If people know that all of their like, for example, it sometimes, I mean, let me just throw a hypothetical at you. I'm just going to use my mods as an example because they're people who I interact with frequently, and I would call them all friends. So let's just use that subgroup of people as an example, because I do have other friends, right, who aren't mods. It's not just me making all my friends mods, but I'm just going to use mods as an example. If I know there is a place that all my mods hang out at a certain time, I'm going to want to go hang out there too, right? Like, it's fun to just hang out with. It doesn't even matter who the streamer is. Finding a community of people who all have similar interests, or just I mean, art's a small community, and the streamers don't stream for that long, right? So there's a lot of turnover in community, right? The community jumps from one place to the next. Sometimes I'll go in some streams and I'll see all the same people in my stream, right? Who are there, and it's like, hey, I'm just hanging out with the community. And I think rating helps build those bridges and helps build those connections. And I think it's such a huge part of streaming, at least with art. And it's also getting like not to toot my own horn, but the most flattering moment probably I've ever had, and I kid you not, this really happened. It doesn't even sound real, and it still doesn't sound real to me. But this was like a year or two ago. I was lurking in a stream. Who they were someone who I think would occasionally show up to my stream, but I saw a community member in their stream recommending my stream to other community members, and I hadn't even chatted. Like, I was just a lurker. I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally it could have essentially been any random stream, and I essentially saw people saying nice things about me. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's one of those like bizarro moments where like, holy crap, this just happened. Like, what the heck? And it's really, really weird. But that never, I feel like those kinds of things don't happen unless, I mean, I'm not saying unless you don't raid, just hanging out in other people's streams also is a big thing, right? Just being a part of the community, not just a streamer. And admittedly, I do this really bad. I'm really bad at this. I've not been hanging out in other people's streams and chatting that much. But no, it's really good to hang out, chat, raid people when you're done. Even if you're just going to drop them off, be like, hey, I'm going to drop these people off in your stream. Most art streamers want to also, they'll be like, hey, would you like to share your work? And if your work is something they like, and they're like, oh, your stuff's cool, maybe I'll drop by your stream and they'll drop a follow. And then before you know it, they raid. Or you could even do it extremely strategically, which I'm not super advocating, but there are sites like Sully Gnome, I think, is one of them. Technically, I think you can figure out which streamers stream on similar days to you who end or start during your stream. So, like, you could, in theory, find people who are currently live that typically end while you're streaming. So like, if you wanted to build a connection with their community, again, this feels a little disingenuous, but you could build a connection with their community by rating them a lot, interacting, and since you're on most of the time when they end their stream, they'll probably eventually come over to your stream too. So then there's some back and forth. And this is actually why some streamers stagger their stream schedules. They'll have some streams start at, let's say, 11 a.m., and then some streams will start at 3 p.m. so that they can raid some people, and then those people on the other days can raid them, right? So it's kind of like this give and take. You're bridging your communities, you're building up. That way, if one person gets raided by 1,000 people, guess who starts to share those 1,000 people with your other, right? So you're just building up, and it makes, I don't know. I think it's yeah. I mean, it's not like a, but they're real connections, and I think that's the most important part. And yeah, it's, I don't know. I think talking about this can sound really scummy because it sounds disingenuous, but I think but I think people can tell. Like, I think going to someone's stream, you can tell when they're just hanging out there, or if they only hang out there and like, oh, by the way, I'm streaming, right? So I think it's, yeah. But yeah, networking is a huge part of it. And again, networking is kind of a dirty word, but that's just being a part of the community. That's a better way to describe it. Be a part of the community. And I mean, that goes, yeah. I fall in love with so many art streams recently. Beats letting YouTube feed me crap. Yeah, I mean, I think art streams are great when you're doing art. I think for learning it's hit or miss. Um, a lot of art processes are very slow. On stream, they're very broken, right? You have a lot of rambling, a lot of trial and error. It's not always their best work. So sometimes it's hard to like learn a ton. But if you have like directed questions, then I think they're quite good. I love answering questions about art, but if you want to go learn a specific thing, there's probably a video out there that does a pretty good job of it. But I guess if you're interested in learning what I'm doing, then I can explain that. So yeah, it's I definitely think there's huge value to live streams for painting. Also, it just I think it helps keep you a little grounded and it dispels some misconceptions. I think there's a lot of people who look at time lapse videos or that are also now called speed paints, which technically that's not what speed painting used to be. But anyway, people call their time lapse videos speed paints, and I think people get this impression is, oh my god, these people are making amazing works. I know it's sped up, but this 30-second video, it's probably only like 2 hours, right? And then they actually learn it's like 50 hours or something. Like there are people who just don't have a good grasp of how long it takes to make art or the iterations and revisions that some artists will go through to get their work or the reference collecting and all that or the iterations and design all like I think a lot of people don't get a sense of that through tutorials, through rehearsed and material. Zozo, how are you doing? So yeah, I do think streaming can help dispel a little of that. When you see people who make really nice finished work also struggling with the same things you struggle with, you're like, oh, I just need to keep pushing through. And they're no different than I'm. And I think that's a good thing. In some ways, this is another thing. Maybe it's more of a hot take. I think it was someone once said like it benefits artists financially to pretend that they are this, gifted, they have this gift that not everyone can do, that they are somehow super special and like treating themselves as like, magical beings. Like it benefits them because then other people look to them like, oh my God, this is so cool. It like you deserve like there's this element of like, you know, mysticism, and I think it's all garbage, right? Obviously, and I think stream it might hurt artists in that way because it makes it realize, oh, it's just a skill like any other. You can also learn this, but I also think, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it actually hurts artists, but I do think there's sort of this idea that I think it's more realistic, and I think that's good, right? I think talking truthfully about how things are done, how you make stuff, I think that's important. Red Gab, hello. Zozo says doing well. I'm glad to hear it, Zozo. What are you up to lately? What have you been up to? But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of trying to dispel a bunch of art myths and things that misconceptions that I feel like people have, right? Like last stream we talked a lot about references and how some people think references are cheating, which is apparently a thing people think. I don't know. I haven't really heard that view in a very long time. But we actually were talking about the opposite view, which is if you don't use references, you're not a real artist, which apparently is also a view. I don't know. I haven't heard any of these views. It was chat who brought it up. But anyway, there's like weird misconceptions out there like that. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, no, you paint however the heck you want. Um, but yeah. Poppy McCandy, how are you? This is all wild. Yeah, there's some weird takes out there. Some very weird takes. Fish gonna be here in like 2.5 weeks. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Good, good. How are you? I'm doing well. I started off the stream a little rough. I had some internet issues. I had just done my taxes, so I don't know. taxes and paperwork make me stressed and annoyed. So I started off the stream not in a super great, but how do you learn to draw? Or how you learn to draw? Me? Or in general? Like, oh, you like the horizon with the thumbnail in the top third? Yeah, I'm doing some tall thumbnails today. Normally I do thumbnails with this template, right? A little bit wider landscape orientation, but today I'm doing the tall ones. Ooh, a fishy visit. Hope you all have lots of fun. Yeah, I hope so too. Take a pencil and some paper. Yeah, I mean, I think the very first step in learning to draw is to have fun enough that you just draw a lot, right? You have to enjoy drawing on some level. It could also just be you enjoy a subject matter and you like to draw it. I think that's how I started as a kid, right? I remember there was an Age of Empires. Here, let me find it. Age of Empires 2 case. Images. Nope, not phone case. Let me just type in this. Here we go. So there was this. That's definitive edition. Copy image. Does this work? Hold on, let me find it. So there was this image that I really liked, and I drew it all the time as a kid because it was like, this was in the stage when I was kind of obsessed with details. And yes, even me was obsessed with details as a kid. Anyway, so this image, file new, is going to get really bright. I apologize. Brightness, okay. So this image, I drew this image. It was the case of an Age of Empires 2. And I drew, actually this isn't the exact case. This is not. This is definitive edition, but I drew Age of Kings. So let me just type in that again. Age of Empires 2, Age of Kings. Images. Why can't I not find it? Oh, here we go. Copy image. This is it. So I drew this image because I thought it was so cool because one, you can tell these are drawn and not photos. And that to me was really cool. Like seeing other drawn stuff. And I was like, oh, and so I would draw this as a kid. And, I would, of course, come in here with all this little ring mail stuff and start drawing all my rings. And, I would just go crazy with the details and it would look terrible. But I drew it because I liked this game, right? That's why I drew. And I think everybody likes different things about drawing. I enjoyed drawing fan art a little bit. I think most people do. I enjoyed just making sort of things that relate to my interests. I like to draw skateboarders and I like to draw just buildings and things that were in front of me. So yeah, I drew all sorts of stuff as a kid. But I think the main thing is you have to draw enough that you're actually getting some mileage. And that's even before worrying about getting better. Like I think people who say, "Oh, focus on the fundamentals." Like I say that too, but I think that only applies to you if you're already drawing. Like you have to draw, right? I don't know. That's my feelings. Like step 1 is learn to have fun with drawing. Learn to draw things that you enjoy drawing. And then step 2 is, occasionally brush up on some art knowledge, right? You can go watch a YouTube video that talks about perspective. You can watch a YouTube video that talks about, drawing forms in 3D, again, or in perspective, right? You can watch a YouTube video that talks about composition or poses, right? You can learn a little bit, and then you can go back to drawing the stuff that you like, right? And then you can go watch some more videos, and then you can go back to drawing the stuff that you like. And if you ever get to the point where you're totally obsessed with art, then I think that's when you can shift into like, I'm really gonna get good, right? Because you're already obsessed with it. Even if you're struggling, you still are gonna keep drawing. You're not gonna quit, right? I think that's once you get to that point of like, this is the thing that I really enjoy. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get good. That's when you can start, in my opinion, really trying to dive in. Oh yeah, I saw the 5-minute thumbnail sketch. I saw that. So yeah, that's kind of my advice, but ultimately, let's just assume that you are totally obsessed with drawing. I think the first step, honestly, is just to familiarize yourself a little bit with different ways of painting, with different techniques, knowing what's possible. Basically, the equivalent of turning on the TV and seeing a professional sports team play the sport that you like, right? If you play soccer, you've probably seen a professional game of soccer, right? If you play basketball, you've probably seen a basketball game on TV. You might even really enjoy watching basketball games on TV, and you can pick up a little bit of things, right? You don't have to study it. You don't have to be academic about your basketball, but you can just watch it for so that you know what's possible, right? So that you can kind of see how consistent they are at shooting. You can see how much they're running, right? You can see all these things. And I think that's important with art as well, is just seeing what's possible so that you kind of have these super far out not goals, but like there's who was it? There was that the the university commencement speech, I think by like Neil Gaiman, I that people always talk about. I've watched it at one point, but that was like 5 years ago. Um, and I think he used the analogy of like a mountain in the background. Like, if you want to go to the mountain, there's this direction's good, that direction's good, that direction's good, that direction's, these are all closer to the mountain, right? The only directions that aren't are like backwards, right? So as long as you have your compass and it's kind of oriented in that direction, there might be obstacles in the way. There might be hills and rivers and valleys that you have to navigate around and you have to, meander all the way there but it's the general direction. And I think sort of seeing the pros do their thing, that to me is like the mountain in the distance, right? It's just the general direction. You're like, oh, okay, that's it. Again, it doesn't have to be your goal, but it's just like putting the direction on the map or on your compass, right? It's like kind of just having a North Star. You don't really know exactly where you're going to end, but you have a direction. And I feel like that is a really just good way of thinking about it, because I do think with some of that you're like, okay, this is what's possible, or at least some of what's possible. Anyway, Age of Kings and Age of Empires Conquers. Yeah, Age of Empires was amazing. Bro, Age of Empires 2 art for each civilization history was fantastic. It was. Yeah, Age of Empires 2 is amazing. It's one of my favorite games. To this day, I don't play it really anymore. I feel like I'm still decent at it. Every time I've gone back to it in the last few years, I feel like it all kind of stuck. I still know like most of the stuff I knew. Anyway, I feel like I wasn't terrible at it. But anyway, enough about that. What are we talking? Oh yeah, 5-minute thumbnails. I have to do one of those. Let's do a 5-minute thumbnail sketch. Try to knock out some ideas here. But yeah, I do think learning art is. I do think there is an academic way you can go about it, and here are the step-by-step processes. But I don't think you should focus on that unless you're already kind of obsessed. And if you are there, then yeah, it's just basically fundamentals, learn about the basics, and then you practice combining them. And I guess the analogy for that is juggling, and I use that one all the time. You guys are probably tired of hearing me talk about that. But basically, yeah, just like juggling, it's not necessarily hard. Any one of those balls to toss and catch isn't really hard, but it's only when you start combining them. And as you increase the number of things that you're tossing, you're tossing these balls up and down, as you increase the number, it gets more and more difficult, right? And that's kind of with art. None of them are really that hard, so it's just a matter of going and learning them, but then you have to practice combining them. You have to start isolating them. Start simple, build up, do it over and over, give it proper attention when you are working on them, because just tossing them in the air haphazardly isn't going to make you start juggling, miraculously. Like you have to actually focus when you're a beginner. And then eventually, what the heck? This is already running. Okay, let's try this. Oh, okay. That works. All right. Zozo, I see your message. It's highlighted. The tappy the tappy bongo cat. I like it. It's cute. This is a proper way to approach it 100%. Like, how is someone supposed to be passionate drawing freaking? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're not going to be passionate drawing boxes, but you can be passionate enough about art beforehand that you're like, I don't care if I have to suffer through drawing boxes because I want to learn to be better at this thing that I love, right? It's the same way that people in soccer practice will put up with doing stupid drills and sprints and making themselves exhausted because it's all for the end goal of doing a thing they like, right? They love the sport and so they put up with the difficult training. And it doesn't have to be fun. It can be hard, it can be tiresome, but it's satisfying knowing that I'm getting better at this thing that I love. So yeah, you have to love the thing first. And I mean, again, you can also love different aspects about it. And I think this is another thing. You don't have to love drawing. Like for me, I actually kind of fell in love with the learning of art, ironically. Like I love seeing the progress. So sitting down and practicing drawing wasn't super fun, but I did love the results. So knowing that I could do this thing, there was a sense of like an accomplishment, right? Almost a sense of pride, like, wow, I did this. Look at me go, right? Sort of self pat on the back. Like I I I can draw these things that people say, "Wow, this is so cool." And the more that I put in, the more that I'd get out, kind of, right? And again, that only lasts so long. That's not the best way to start. But I will say, once I got to that point, then art actually became more fun because now I could draw whatever I wanted, kind of. And at least I had a process of getting there. Anyway, let's start the countdown timer. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. That was a quick countdown. Okay, 5 minutes. Here we go. I'm gonna put some bright. I'm gonna get some wide range of values. Don't Colors don't matter. I'm still a beginner, but I think it's cool. It's so cool I create something that I myself think looks, yeah. Or like if you, I mean, when you get to the point where you can draw in perspective and you can draw simple shapes, and if you have an idea, you could be like, hold on, let me grab a pencil and I can show you what am thinking. That to me is super satisfying, right? I think that's one of those, like, not everybody has that method of communication, right? Most people, if they have an idea, they can explain it to you, but not a lot of people have the skills or have the art, the drawing communication skills to show you what they're thinking, right? Or to show you, or maybe even better, I don't really like that phrasing, but to explore ideas and have almost like a, and I hate this because it sounds so artsy and no one's going to know what I'm talking about, but almost have a dialogue, right? Just like in conversation, me and you could discuss an idea like politics or religion or whatever, any hot topic, right? And we could educate each other, right? We could discuss math, we could discuss art. We don't have to know the answers ahead of time, but we can get to the answers through communicating, right? And that's what I do with art, right? I have the skills to communicate, but I'm also actively exploring the ideas in real time, right? I am, it's like the equivalent, again, the having a dialogue is an analogy because I'm not actually having a dialogue with anybody, but I'm communicating visually for myself to respond to, and then I can start coming up with ideas. So in that sense, it's not just paint the thing that you're thinking of, right? It's giving me tools in a whole new language to explore ideas. So I guess that's how I think of it, kind of. Um, yeah, I guess that's probably the best way that I could explain it. Clip Studio is loading. As someone who sucks at learning, it was all just volume of passionate work that slowly got me better. Yeah, I mean, I think there's also, I mean, I don't know what that means to suck at learning. Like I think we are all capable of learning lots of things, and I think if you were to think back at things that you really really enjoy, I don't know if you play video games, but if you do, you probably could spout there's probably something you could spout knowledge about for a long time, right? Whether it's Pokemon cards and knowing all the Pokemon, like you probably can learn things, but you probably need to either enjoy it first and foremost, or spend a lot of time with it, or have a framework that is easy to digest, right? Sometimes people go into subjects that look like magic, like let's just say art, and they're like, I don't even know how to start thinking about it, right? Because it's hard to get better at something if it literally looks like magic, right? If you look at it, those people who, you say a day of the, or you give them like, you'll say something like March 14th, 1436, right? You'll give them a date and they'll be like, oh yeah, that was a Saturday. And you're like, how the heck? Like this person is a magician, right? But once you start to realize there is a way you can do this and a process that can get you there, you too can learn to do that. And actually, the YouTuber Mike Boyd has a YouTube channel where he essentially just learns random skills like that. And that's one of the skills that he learned. And it's like this thing, it seems unapproachable to someone who doesn't understand it, but there are ways to learn things that aren't as hard as it might seem. So I don't know. I mean, there's lots of things that can make learning stuff hard. But yeah, no, I don't think learning art needs to be hard. I do not think learning art needs to be hard. I mean, also pattern recognition is a big part of it. And I think art can make every topic super exciting. And I'd say this completely seriously. I think, so do I like this thumbnail? I mean, it's kind of, it needs some color. What does it need? And I realize the timer is up, but I'm gonna ignore the timer and pretend that. What is the point of even having the timer when I just ignore it all the time? That's my question to myself. Why even have the timer? I'm just gonna make this darker and then put some bright lights in here. Needs more purple and blue. Maybe. Or some orange. Needs more purple and blue. I mean, I like my purple and blue, okay? I like my purple and blue. Orange. Yeah, I think the orange looks kind of nice. There. I think that's not bad. Something like that. Purple and orange is like one of the best color combos. Yeah, I agree. I mean, purple and orange. I mean, yeah, purple, orange, blue, orange, any warm and cool. I mean, basically, warm and cool combos are just nice. You and your color palettes? Gross. What do you mean, gross? You're gross. Just kidding. No, thank you for the kind words. How are you doing, Lily? Like my good comeback? You're gross. Very, very mature of me, I know. You're not wrong. But yeah, how are you? Gold star come. Thank you. Just slap on primary colors until you give up. No, I mean, so this is. I mean, look, I think you can take any warm color. I'm just literally going down the color palette here, just mixing warms, kind of warmish, Again, it doesn't have to actually be warm, but like relatively, some of these are going to be cooler than others, right? Maybe even some greenish. Here's some colors. And then you can just take any, again, you could just take more desaturated colors of this, right? Same thing, but just desaturated. And these could be your cool colors. Or you could take actual like cooler colors like blues and whatever. And just by putting them next to each other and making little gradients, like, I don't know, the colors start to look not bad. I mean, the greens might be a bit out of control, but you can put some down here. There's always ways to, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like it takes any sort of, how do I describe it? I mean, maybe piano is a good example because I suck at piano, but if you find like, like the C chord, which is like your fingers essentially are like evenly spaced or something, and like you find like the finger pattern, if you move that finger pattern up and down the piano, it's gonna make something that sounds similar. And that's kind of what I feel like. You make painting look not so hard. Maybe I'll finally bite the bullet. I mean, there are definitely hard parts about it, but I think a lot of it is like, I mean, there's a few things, right? There's pattern recognition, right? Which is, yeah, it just takes time. But then there's knowing what patterns to look for so that you can recognize them, right? And this is where I always use chess analogies. Does anybody like chess? Maybe not. Do artists like chess? I don't know. Is this like a thing? I don't think they do. I feel like there's not many artists who love chess. But anyway, chess is oftentimes seen as like a non-creative thing. But no, I think the learning process is basically the same, right? You can go into like a tactics trainer and they give you little isolated problems and they train you and then you start to recognize the patterns. And the same thing is true, right? Like for warm and cool combos and just starting to think in these terms and doing it a lot, pretty soon you just start to have an understanding of things that you can just start painting. I don't know. And then of course perspective, right? You do it a lot, and eventually you can, eventually it just stuff starts to make some sense. Um, yeah, I kind of like these little green things. But I mean, let's put it this way: art is simple, but it's also difficult, right? I think it's not like this crazy, insanely complicated thing. Joe sold his soul, guys. Don't believe the propaganda. No, I mean, I don't know. There's so many analogies that I like to use, but I think juggling is probably the best, honestly. Or maybe even just sports. I mean, it's extremely simple, but it is difficult. It takes a lot of training, it takes a lot of practice. But if you like it, it also doesn't seem all that hard because you're going to want to do it. That's kind of how I think about it. Ooh, let's try something different. I always kind of do the same stuff. What if I'm trying to think what I want to do. I don't know. I want some dark color, but I'm not sure what. Maybe I'll do like a dark red or dark orange because I already have orange here. This might look terrible, but I'm going to go for it. So I want to make like stripes or something. Let's see. Like this kind of, just like paths into the painting. But I want to make them of like this will be like negative space, and then there will be other things in front of it. I don't know how this is gonna work. I've done stuff like this before. But yeah, I mean, it also depends on what you want to draw. So like, if you want to draw like a castle or something, right? There's might be like ways to show that castle in a better way. Maybe this is a castle. Towers. Kind of is fun, I guess. Sort of fun. Yeah, I mean, I like to make analogies to learning art because I do think most people have something that for them didn't seem like a crazy hard process, like maybe cooking, for example. Like some people are like, yeah, I'm just okay at cooking, right? It's like, okay, well, it wasn't hard. You just follow the recipes, and then eventually you start to learn that, oh, this thing is too salty. Let's not add as much salt next time, right? The recipe sucks. Or, oh, it came out soggy. Let's crank up the heat a little bit. Or, oh, it whatever, right? And I'm not a good cook, but there are, to some people, right, when they see somebody cook really well, it's like, what, you just throw stuff in a pot and it turns out amazing? It's like, no, they started simply, right? They added things one at a time. They understand the interactions between all these different things, right? You don't just start by dumping random crap and throwing the, like, no, you have some sort of framework or a recipe maybe at the start, and then you start branching out, and pretty soon you can move seamlessly between them. And that's kind of how it is with, like, with painting, right? You have all these little thumbnail, or not thumbnail, but you have like little composition ideas or shapes that work, or perspectives, and just different things, right? It could be color palettes that work well together. Any of these things could be the thing. Also, I don't like this. How would you go about adding characters to landscapes like these? Each with their own color palette. So I would just, because of the scale, so like for this one, I would just draw little tiny figures. I would just draw them out here, standing. There's maybe 2 characters, maybe they're walking. And I realize these are very tiny and very pixelated. Maybe there's 2 people there, or maybe there's someone over here. And again, you might want to change the perspective. So like maybe this character, we're looking downward a little bit at him. So I'm going to draw his feet a little bit more flat, right? I don't think I'd actually want a character here because it's weirdly positioned in the composition. But you might do something like this, where you just put your little characters here. Right? You could draw little characters up here, depending on the size. Classic trope of characters standing on a mountain, also has a stick because there's the stick salesman, right? You could, if you wanted to do something like a character in these environments with the perspective a little bit lower, you could still make them small if you wanted, or you could, typically, if your eyes are, if they're at your eye level, right, their heads will be on the horizon. So here's my horizon, right? If I want a character in here, do this. It doesn't matter how big I make their head because I'm going to make their body in proportion, right? Oh, countdown is done. Yeah, I can remove that. There we go. Wait. Oh, no, that's not gone. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, but another thing is, like, if this is the character, I'm gonna make their head here. Also, am I on the right layer? Yeah, yeah. So you could just put them here, and you can make the character, and you could move them wherever you wanted. Typically, if you did something like this, you would want to... you could add a couple characters in here. I don't think I'm going to do that in this one because I have a lot of weird values, right? And of course, they could get lighter as you get further back. Actually, let's keep the characters in here. Again, these characters could be walking, they could be doing something. Like, we could put another character in the foreground, like, really large. The reason I'm making them large is by making their head big, and then I make the rest of their body in a similar proportion, right? So you could have something like that. And it's just the same thing. That they're still going to have atmospheric perspective, right? So if a character is really, really far back, right, they're going to be lighter. And this looks like a creepy thing because they're all just standing in a field and they're not interacting or anything, which I realize is weird. But yeah, that's kind of how I would add characters. And typically, again, I would be adding them into the environment as, like, not as the focal point, really. So they're not taking up, like, 90% of the image, right? It's not like you have a face sticking out here and a nose and they're the hat and the character's ears and their mouth and this is a weird looking nose, right? I'm not drawing like that was a weird shape. Anyway, I'm not drawing stuff like that, right? This is very much environment art, and I'm just inserting characters into the scene. Let me just add some. These characters look creepy. I don't think I want them there, actually. After all that, just erasing them. Depending on the analogy, it can super help things. Yeah, and that's to me, art is more about thinking about things the right way, or not necessarily the right way, but in a way that's helpful. I think there's a lot of really unhelpful ways of thinking about things. And I think that's where when people will sit down with like a photo reference and just draw what they see, and they're not thinking about the subject, they're not thinking about the values, they're not thinking about the perspective or the composition or any of that, right? They're just drawing, say, shapes, not even form. They're not thinking in 3D. They're not thinking about the structure of the thing, or they're not thinking about light and shadow, right? I think if you're just thinking about it's like the grid method, right? If all you know how to do is look at an image, right? Here's your image, right? Mountain, sun, right? Hills in the background, right? Road in the foreground. If all you know how to do is look at this image and draw a grid, right? And add like a fake grid over the top of this one, let's say, right? Imagine these yellow lines as a grid that aren't actually there, right? If all you know how to do is this, and then, you look at the lines and like, oh, well, here's that, here's this, and then this goes through here, right? If all you know how to do is copy these, right? And you're like, oh, this one comes through this area, and so in here, and it goes like up to the middle of there, right? If this is how you draw, you're not actually learning how to draw, right? You're learning how to copy. And I don't think this is always bad, right? There are times where this is useful, but this is not a good way, this isn't a good mental approach to drawing an image. And then, of course, you could delete your lines or whatever, and oh, I have my image, right? Beautiful. Perfect copy. Or almost. But it's not, that to me isn't a good approach to thinking about it. And art is so much more mental than that. It's thinking about, right? Like it's an okay way to do it, but again, this is just going to get you a nice image because you're not thinking about. Instead, if you think about things like, oh, I have a background line here, midground here. Okay, well, I can draw a background line. Right? I have a square image. I have a background and a midground, and I have a pyramid sitting somewhere in the midground that passes over the top of the background, right? So it creates this overlapping shape, right? Maybe you have in the foreground, you have a road that goes into perspective, right? Because I know how to draw perspective. It goes into the thing that sits here, right? And if you do that, you can actually improve. You can be like, hold up, maybe this should be sitting in the middle of that area, and the road could come this way. And then you can start to add to it because you understand what's happening and you're not just focused on tracing, right? And then you're like, oh, well, I have a sun up here, but maybe I want the sun setting, right? Maybe it's going to set, or maybe it's going to set over the pyramid because that could be cool, right? And you can actually, by understanding what is happening, like, for example, this would make no sense to have the shapes overlapping. Like, anyway. So you can start to look at things and interpret it in a different way, and you can translate it in an interesting way, and you can build on it, right? You're not going to be screwed if someone, if you're drawing a character or from real life and they turn their head, you're suddenly not going to be ruined because you're like, oh my god, I can't draw this thing because they turned their head, right? My copying methods are gone. But no, if you know enough about drawing forms in 3D space, hopefully you could remedy that. I mean, I can't do that with characters, by the way. That's hard. And I'm not that good yet. But eventually. Okay. I am gonna do what happened here. That's what happened. Random little shapes down here. How the heck do I already have 8 thumbnails? What in the world? Okay, let's get rid of, let's redo this one. I think I can do better. I think I missed some questions. But yeah, so actually, yeah, let's start over on this one. So let's add some characters into the painting. So I think adding characters, the main thing is just knowing where your eye level is and where your where you are in position to the characters. So for example, if I'm drawing characters at eye level, right, and I want to set my painting up so that the horizon line is somewhere up here, right? I could draw my characters where their heads are on the horizon line. I'm loving 3 and 6. Oh, thank you. Right, here's some little characters. Their heads are on the horizon. All of them, their heads on the horizon line. Right, every single one of them is going to be a character, and their heads are all on the horizon line. And that's because the viewer is going to be positioned in the same spot as they are, right? So if I am also one of this crowd, right? So there's a crowd of people, and maybe these people are, maybe there's a hill up here in the background. And again, I'm using atmospheric perspective, so I'm just painting directly over the top of these things. I'm going to make this background a little bit lighter. And it's okay if I make some of this stuff in the background a little lighter. So this is kind of how I set up some of my paintings. Also, another way is to start out with a gradient, and I talked about this a lot. I actually have a video on my YouTube, which I don't have that many videos on YouTube. It's technically just a clip from stream, but it's essentially starting with a gradient, and you're just pulling up the shape. So if I have a gradient over here, going from light to dark in the background, and I want to draw a character or something, at this distance, I can just pull up the gradient from that shape. If I want to draw something in the background, I can just pull up that gradient. If that doesn't quite work here because I didn't do it very well. So I'm actually making these characters a little bit darker than the gradient's ground, but it's kind of the same concept. Anyway, I also don't want those mountains to look that ugly. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to start thinking about composition. Let's change stuff, change some shape. Maybe there's like a wall over here. I don't know, maybe I'm going to get rid of that character. Just playing with composition, not thinking about colors right now. Also, I think when it comes to colors, the best way to do colors is to not think about colors. It's to think about values. And I guess that's unintuitive. Actually, that's really unintuitive. I think most people would be like, that just is such a foreign. And this all goes back to how I think about painting. Like, I think for some people, when they think about colors, right, they're thinking about color theory. They're like, how the heck do people do colors? They think about color palettes in isolation. I'm just thinking about values, and like some of the colors can look nice, but if they don't and the values look okay, then I can always edit them. I don't know. Anyway, let's color dodge. I haven't color dodged today. I'm going through color dodge withdrawal. Airbrush. Color dodge. Or hold on, maybe let's try something. Let's do a blue light. Good afternoon, new creation. How are you? Okay, so we're gonna have a blue light. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with this painting yet. I'm just trying to make some interesting shapes, figuring it out as I go. Everyone is dead. What? Is everyone dead? I don't think so. That's a show, right? Everyone is dead. Isn't that like a Korean zombie show? Or is that We Are All Dead? I forgot what the name of that is. Isn't it Everyone is Dead? What's the name of that show? Just felt a pulse. I think I'm okay. All the people are gone. Oh, you mean from stream? Is there not many people here? Well, my stream died at the start. I was late to show up to my own stream, so I wouldn't be surprised. The painting. Oh, the painting. I've removed all the people. Oh, wait. No, there's still some people. Look. I mean, he's gonna be dead when he gets down from this rock, because I don't think there's a good way down.
Hello.
Hey, Make, how are you? Thank you so much for the 100 bits. How are you doing today? I love the Spire guy. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be screwed when he gets down. But some of these people, like, these people are very alive. They're even hanging out with their friends. Look at this. They're having a good time. Either that or they're lost. And they'll be eaten by wildlife soon or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to make this feel a little bit like there's some spires. We're looking up at stuff. Sorry, not spires, but like pillars. We're looking up. And then over here, we're not looking up. We're even looking down at things. I don't know. A lot of this is just kind of me playing it by ear, and by playing it by ear, I mean playing it by eye, by sight. But I'm still using things like perspective. No one thinks about how they're gonna get down. They're just focused on climbing up and looking cool. That's true. They're just doing it for the selfie. My dad always told me when I got stuck in a tree, you get down the same way you got up there. You didn't have a problem getting up. You're not gonna have a problem getting up. I don't think that's always the same. That, I mean, I understand it, but that logic doesn't always work. I mean, it's like using that argument for everything just doesn't work. I mean, have you ever seen like kids who will put their head? Have you? So like when I was a kid, I don't know why I have this on the screen still. When I was a kid, we had a stairwell, right? We had stairs like this. There was a wall. Wall was here. These were the stairs, right? So they went down, 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 right? And you could walk through this way. And because this was on the second floor, right? We had a floor here. Here's the wall. Right? Here's this. Because of this, we obviously had a railing, right? So here's our railing. It was attached to the wall. But anyway, I'm not going to draw that part. Right? Anyway, so we had a railing. It looked something like this. Right? And they were kind of these little graded things, and you couldn't really walk through them. Anyway, but kids, of course, their heads can stick through them. So when I was a kid, I totally put my head in these. I could not get my head out. Like it wouldn't come out because once your ears go in and then they get stuck. So that thought of like, oh, it'll come out the same way. No, 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 no. Your head can get stuck between these little grates, and when you're a kid, you can't always get out the same way you went in. And same thing with trees. It's so much harder to climb down from places than to climb up. Right? If you do, but it no, I think so they were like cast iron or something, and I think my dad was able to. Don't forget the swelling. True, yeah, you're big. Um, so yeah, I think my dad he was able to like bend them just a little bit, and I could manage to get my head out. But I think I had really sore ears for the rest of the for a while. Yeah, it is not always easy to get out from when you get in. So yeah, the moral of the story is don't put your head between thin bars because you might get stuck, but also don't put your head between bars at all. That could just be bad. Anyway, with trees you can jump down. True, but that's not the same way you got up. It's so hard to down climb stuff. Anyway, I have heard that though. Get down the same way you got up. Have you tried climbing stuff recently? Like that's so much easier said than done. Thanks for the life tip. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, yeah. You can thank me later. Don't lick metal bars in the winter. I've done that. Um, yeah, it can be kind of. I've never had it stuck so bad that it's like was damaging to my tongue when I've unstuck it, but I have had some almost scary moments. I have done things like lick your finger and then touch the middle bar and then your finger gets stuck and it's not as bad typically, but it's still yeah, not great to do. I mean, to be fair, you shouldn't go around licking out things outdoors anyway, but you know, just again, another tip from me to you for free. You don't have to pay for that one. Next one will require a sub. Um, but yeah. Okay, so here's this. Well, let's add some lighting. What if you know it'll be really funny in the moment? I mean, yeah, if you want to, I guess if you want to make like do stupid things for views on YouTube or on TikTok, I mean, you know, I don't know. I guess that's up to each person to decide. But then you can't complain when stupid stuff happens. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't think it's worth it because not your whole like I think learning this is one of those things I think it's so I'm actually being serious here. But I do think doing things like, oh, this is just for a video, or oh, I'm gonna, you know, it'll be funny if I kind of do this thing now, because, and that's not really me, right? I'm not gonna be someone who makes bad choices all the time. I do think if you practice bad choices and things that are, you know, reckless behavior, and you're like, oh yeah, but I'm not gonna do that when I'm older because I'm not stupid. I do think you kind of build habits and build ways of doing things and ways of thinking that does actually influence your behavior down the road. So like if you I mean it's kind of like if you practice doing stupid stuff with people, I feel like you're I mean obviously people have adolescence and they you know, they have childhoods where they do stupid things and they grow out of it. But I do think it's like really bad ways of thinking, like let's go harm people for views on TikTok or something. Like I think that kind of thing, it really does change how you see things, I think. That's my view. Not by watching it, but by doing it, right? Like you're practicing bad behavior and then you kind of you have a new norm, I think. I don't know, maybe not. I'm sure there's science that would tell us how that works. But I feel like practicing bad behavior does sort of isn't there a word for it like something's window where like if you see and do stuff that's really bad then it makes the things that aren't quite as bad as that seem like the good version even though they could still be relatively terrible. It's like Overton's window or something. I don't know what the word is. I think it is along those lines. Isn't that kind of the thing? It's like you do if you do extreme stuff, the stuff that's still extreme to everyone else seems a little bit less extreme. Overtones window is for politics. Yeah, but I think it's still with extreme things and behavior, right? It's behavior and ideas. Like it's used in politics, and it's specifically used with opponents' views or with views being so radical that there's other views that are less radical. But I think that the same principle still applies, right? Because like let's say doing pranks on you know, homeless people, right? That's obviously not okay. But I think there's an element where it's like, yeah, but this is a good, you know, this isn't that bad. And then it kind of, I don't know. Maybe I'm just ranting about random crap. But I don't know. I think there is an element of like, don't do stupid stuff and you should try to avoid it. And saying, oh, well, it's just for, you know, it's going to be funny. But yeah, but that's still not, I don't think that's a good enough reason. Because what, I don't know. I guess I'm more talking about like a slippery slope type thing, which I realize is technically not a great way to reason, but you know, due to it being fallacious and all that. But I don't know. I'm always a little bit hesitant when people are like, yeah, it's just this once though. I'm not gonna like I don't do this all the time. It's like, no, but you are allowing yourself for this to be more normal, right? Like by saying, oh, it's just this one time. I don't know, that's yeah. Like I don't know. I mean I understand some people are able to do that, but I do think Henslon's razor, never attribute to mouse. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. But yeah, that too. I think that's a pretty solid rule to have with things. It's just assume people are stupid and not evil. What are we talking about this stream? I feel like we're really going down it. Hold on. Really going down the rantiness. Joe, do we need a poll? Yeah, we need a poll. Do you want to make a poll for 8? Old man yells at cloud. Why is an old man yelling at a cloud? I think I missed something. Let's do color dodge again. You're kind of right, though. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I am or not, but I think there is an element of that. And again, I think everybody falls victim to this, where it's like, I can restrain myself. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people who spirals out of control. But I still think just having a process that allows yourself to make those not very good choices, I don't know. Like, I think if you know better, you should, like, we owe it to ourselves to you know, I don't know. What am I? I don't even know what I'm saying. What am I saying? I should stop talking. Let's see. I need to get rid of some of this, that light. And then I want to do, what was I talking about? I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the lighting here. I kind of wanted a blue light. Blue lighting is cool, but I don't know how to, maybe there's some warmth over here. That could be a thing. I'm ready with poll. Give me the word. All right, I will give you just a second, and then we're gonna put a character here. That's a weird character. Let's make him go more this way. Maybe not. Maybe I don't want that character there. Maybe we'll put something like, they don't look really good today. Oh, thanks. Maybe we'll put some characters here. I don't really know. These are just going to be placeholders, though. Little legs. There we go. Oh, and then this, of course. Okay. Yeah, these are something. They're simple. Okay. Yeah, we can vote now. All right. Do you want to drop the link? You can drop the link, Sal. I'm just going to leave them all messy like this. All right. So if you're unfamiliar with what we do here on stream, this is the time of the stream where for about 10 minutes we can vote on one of these, or actually you can vote on multiples. And the one that wins the vote, we will work on till the end of stream. Hopefully turn it into something that isn't terrible. of course, these all can be refined a lot. Sometimes it's just adding a story. Sometimes it's designing stuff. If there's architecture, maybe figuring out what it is, who lives there, right? Same with buildings stuff. Just adding, just refining it, making decisions, because these are very quick and not very well thought out. So that's kind of what it's all about. Sort of idea generation, and this is the first stage. So anyway, I'm going to save some of this, and then I'm going to save it as a new Clip Studio file. We have 369 days. Dang, 369. That's a lot of streams. I think I finally have enough channel points for a redeemable print. Ah, very nice. Okay, so for the redeemable prints, and I guess it's a good time to explain what they are. If you want to redeem a print, you basically click on the redeemable print option. You type in essentially which print you want. I realize they're not all visible right now, but in Discord they are. Sometimes just a simple it's here. Let me explain. So that on the bottom right corner, there's like a slideshow. They don't technically have names, so it's not always easy. You can find the link on Instagram or in Discord, and you can link me the image that you want. Or if it's very easy to describe it, there is it just depends on what it is. Sometimes they're easy to describe, sometimes not. I don't really have a good system, but essentially you type out whatever you want. There's a few ways to do it, but essentially when you redeem it, you can either type it in that comment, or you can DM me on Discord which print you want and where to send it. There's also a form, but anyway, let me talk about this more after, or when you redeem it, because we are voting and it is pinned to chat. So if you'd like to vote, please do that now. But yeah, if you want, for example, me to work on any of these, you could vote for all of them, or number 5 and 7, or maybe 6. Anyway, you redeemed your first this Saturday, I think? Okay. Yeah, I haven't actually sent them out yet. I still have them. I mean, I haven't packaged them up or anything. I essentially haven't looked at them since then. I still have to do all that, but I just did a bunch of things this morning, so I should be able to do that soonish. Hooray, LD. Yeah, just let me know which print you want and where to send it. Additionally, there's also a form you can fill out for where to send it to. That's essentially just a simple address form type thing, and it lets me know where to send it. There technically isn't a space for which print you want, but again, you could just put in the last line of the address, and I'll notice, and that makes it easy. It makes it easy to know which print you want. But there's that. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it. Basically, just let me know which print and where you want it, and I'll send it anywhere in the world. No cost to you, because there's enough people who subscribe every month that covers costs of prints and shipping. So you can thank everyone who subscribes for the prints. That's on them, mostly. And ads. I guess ads almost covers it, maybe? I don't know. I actually don't know about that. Let me take a look to see. All right, so straw poll. Whoa, what did I click? What ones do I want? I want number 5. No, I don't. That one. I'm trying not to spoil which ones I'm voting for, because it might. Let's vote for those two. There we go. I voted for a couple of them. So far, we have 15 participants voting, and number 6 is in the lead with 7 votes. Okay, so less than half of the people want number 6, but it's also winning. Well, that's a wide variety of thumbnails. That is a wide variety. There is the poll once again. You can click it and then vote for whichever thumbnails you want. Ew. So I don't have an ad block on this browser because I switched to using Microsoft Edge because I just wanted to keep stream searches and everything separate from my day-to-day use. So, but anyway, I have no ad block. Dang, that straw poll site has kind of annoying ads. I mean, there's advertising WinZip or something. or some zipping program, which you can already just do for free. Anyway, I forgot how annoying ads are. 8 has 0 votes. Rest in peace, number 8. I like number 8. Number 8's nice, but yeah, it's not gonna beat out number 6 or something. Yeah, me neither, Bigger Bones. I haven't seen ads in like years, and now until just now, I'm like, holy crap, I see ads. This is obnoxious. Like I literally just almost clicked on one because it was in your face, and I had forgotten how annoying they are. So yeah, that was weird. All right, number 8 and 5 are very close, or 7 and 5 are very close. 7, 5, and 6 actually are all close. I always redeem for another stream if you like it. True. Yeah, if there is one that you really like, we can actually bring them back from previous streams. So that's what one of the options is. It's basically if there was a thumbnail that you maybe liked or that came in close that you want to give a second chance, and or maybe there's a day where you don't like any of the thumbnails, you can bring one back in the running and sort of advocate for that one, and maybe people will vote for it. That's one of the redeem options with channel points. Nexty, how are you? Resources. What are you looking for, Nexty? Anything in particular? I don't have a resources command, but I do have a lot of commands. What kind of thing are you looking for? I remember there was a command for resources. I forgot it. The one with doc and videos would. Oh, okay. So there is a. Yeah, one second. We're yeah. I'm just gonna once we wrap up voting. No, it's not resources. I mean, I do have things for videos and the you like the resource. It's what was it? I don't remember. I'll think about it here in a second though. Let's finish up voting though. No, it was the Rodri link. It was well, yeah, it's the one with it's the Rodri link. The last one has a lot of stuff. Is that still available? Yeah. So that was a thing. That had a lot of that was like a good database of art YouTubers, and it had a little bit of stuff about them. That I don't know if it's up to date, because Rodri's the one who does this, but this was amazing, honestly. That last link is so handy. It has so many videos and so many people that you've probably never heard of, and it's just I think it's great. Anyway, so yeah, last call for voting. Last call for voting. Last link. I think it's fair to say that the winner is going to be number 7, but it's only winning by like 1 vote, so maybe not. Number 6 is very close. I also want to thank you for all the beautiful streams you do. Quite motivating and educational. Aw. Well, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your kind words. Blessed Vody Fairy Fox, I wish for 2, 3, 6, and 7. Go 6, 6, 6. 6 might not, yeah, number 6 might win. Oh, it's tied with 7. Okay, well, I can't end the vote now. Okay, the next one to receive a vote, I'm gonna go with. No, that's terrible. I can't say that. Okay, we're gonna unpin this. Unpin right now. How do I unpin? Unpin. Oh, wait, 6 and 7 are tied. Ah, number 6 has won. Okay, well, number 6 is in the lead. Yeah, I wanted to do a tiebreak in... Okay, yeah, we're still going to do a tiebreak in chat. /poll. Yeah, we're going to do a tiebreak in chat between 6 and 7. 6 or 7 is the poll. 2 minutes. Start poll. There we go. Poll is up. Very short. Go, go, go. 6 or 7. Your vote now. It's in the top of chat. Oh, dang. 7 is crushing it. Rest in peace, number 6. Finally, it has been an eternity. No, I can't decide. Well, you must. You can just go with the popular opinion and vote for 7. Number 6 though is pretty close. We're getting down to the wire. Your vote can finally be counted. Yeah. So I don't want to sit too long on the voting process, but it is kind of fun to see which ones people prefer, and then I'll end up ruining them anyway because I always end up reworking stuff and changing things, which is normal. I mean, when you only do a quick sketch, it's bound to change. You like the colors in 7? Well, 7 I feel like are most similar to what I normally do. But I don't know. I think I can pull something out with number 7 and make it interesting. You smell fraud? There's no fraud. How is this fraudulent? This is the most fair poll we've had. I feel like very fraud. Oh no, I was voting for the wrong one the whole time. Uh-oh. Well, if you are we really gonna end with a tie? This is absurd. We should not end with a tie. If we end with a tie, I'm gonna choose number 1. I don't even remember what number 1 was, but we're gonna just ignore all of them and go with number 1. So it better not be it. Just kidding. We're not gonna do that. We have like 5 seconds. It's really getting close. Okay, number 7 has won. Number 7 won. We're going with number 7. Report poll. I thought 6 was the one on the left, blue, and 7 was the evening landscape. Oh, I see. That's okay. By 2 votes. Wow, so divided. Yes, pretty divided. Okay, so number 7 it is. You want to know what I did? So I voted for number 7 at the very last second, only because it was already in the lead and I didn't want to have to figure out how to do a tie break. So I was like, in the off chance that somebody casts a vote at the last second to tie it, because I know that there are people here in chat who would do that. So I intentionally voted for the one that was already winning so that it would force it so it would be more likely it would win. I wanted to counteract the I just didn't want to do a tie break. Anyway, Joe I didn't do voting fraud. Oh my god. I am not fraudulent. You guys. Voting fraud. This ain't a democracy, it's a dictatorship. I demand any of you could have done the same thing. I demand a recount. You guys. You're killing me. There's no recounts. There was no collusion. Thinking back to the American elections when everyone was like fraud and they're just going up, and I mean technically I guess there was some messed up stuff happening, but anyway, not getting into politics. This is a democracy. Well, it's pretty close. I mean that was a pretty fair vote, I think. Kath, what is the war when it comes to voting in art? We may have lost the battle, but we won't lose the war. What the heck is the war? Is there some major conflict I'm unfamiliar with? I'm very happy. Well, number 7's interesting. I'm not sure what it is. It's gonna change. 6 is gonna come back, Joe. Okay. If you insist. Just you wait. Okay. I'll wait. I'll be here. No, I know. It could. I mean, you can always bring them back. Okay, so what do I want to do with this? I feel I don't like this thumbnail. Classic blue and orange. Yeah, I want to spice it up a bit and make it less sucky. How do I want to do this? I don't know what I want to do here, but I'm just going to keep painting. Maybe change up the colors a bit. This painting will probably not look the same when it's finished. I'm going to delete the characters. Sorry, characters. You're gone. Deleted. The blue. Yeah, the blue lighting is something that's a little intriguing and I haven't done a lot of. But so what I want to do, and one thing that's really hard for me to do, is whenever I do these large like thumbnails and I scale them up, it's oftentimes hard for me to allow myself the freedom to explore more. And so I want to do that. First, I want to make sure I'm time lapsing. Yep. Okay. So I just want to explore a little bit more. So I'm going to take a giant, just make a new layer, pick an airbrush. I'm just going to start messing around, maybe with some lighting, maybe some airbrush just to reorganize the values a little bit, because I can always make things a little brighter or darker in places. Maybe I take this big chunky brush and just start trying things. Yeah, it kind of does look like ruins, maybe. There was a painting a while back that I wanted to do where it was like an underground place, but it had like white flowers. Maybe I'll work that into this. I guess if I do something like this, though, what I want to focus on is actually having the like picking where my eye level is and actually playing with it. So, for example, if I make my eye level right in the middle of the painting, because I haven't really decided yet, and I think I want to be looking up the stairs. I think that's my ideal. I'm seeing ancient tech runes. Interesting. He's Thanosing everything. I mean, that's pretty standard here. I tend to Thanos stuff, Edis Deletus, and they ain't coming back. No, the characters will come back. Joe, I filled in the form for the redeemable print. Do I have anything to do anything else? Basically, as long as I know... Wait. Lampard, did you redeem the print? You have to actually spend the channel points. Oh, wait, okay, I see it. Hooray, I'll DM you on... Yep, okay. So, if I know which print you want... If I know which print you want, and you've entered a place for me to send it to, either on Discord or in the form, if both of those things... If both of those bits of information have been put somewhere, then I'm good. But I basically... And if you have a Discord link, if I know who you are in Discord and I have any questions, I'll just ask. But typically, I don't run into problems when trying to send things out. Sometimes there are issues with people, formatting their address really weirdly or something, and so sometimes it takes a little bit of me figuring out. But most of the time, it's pretty easy. So no, you're probably good if you've put down the print that you want and where to send it. That's really the only 2 bits of information I need. I mean, heck, technically, I don't even need a name. I mean, most post people will. I mean, it's nice to have a name to put on the envelope. Otherwise, I'll just put your Discord name, and that can be weird. Or not your Discord name, your Twitch name. But yeah. Okay, let's think. How do I want to do this? I have to make a big decision, and that is, where are my eyes? The reason it's important where my eyes are is because if I'm going to put these steps, I need to make sure that we can see the bottoms of them. What if you put on a silly fake name? I mean, I could do that. It would still arrive. I put names that are just essentially gibberish on the envelope and it'll still arrive. Most post people, so this is how my understanding of the postal service works. Typically, they just ignore the name and deliver it to the address. But if there's an issue with the address where maybe something is missing, then if they have info on the name, then that can help them solve their problems. But the names are really the last line of defense for like getting it to where it's going. Most of the time, post workers will not care. They will just deliver it. Unless maybe they know specifically who lives in a house, which is very rare if they're doing, unless it's like a really, really tiny city, or a really tiny town. But if it's like a whole city, you're going to get the mail no matter what. Doesn't matter what the name is. Because somebody has paid to send it to that address. So it doesn't. It's not their job to determine whether that person lives there or not. So that's kind of how my understanding of the postal service works. Names aren't really that important, but it's still nice to have. Okay, so I think our eyes are going to be right here. What if your name happens to be postal worker? So I, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that would be strange, I guess. Okay, so painting time. Um, our eyes are going to be here. Actually, do I want our eyes here or higher up? Let's actually put our eyes higher up. Let's put our eyes like up here. Because I haven't really done any work yet in terms of what we're looking down at. But like, for example, if this is the top of a stair, and at some point the stairs up here just go flat, and then you just get this line of light and dark. Like this could still just be lines that are of light and dark. Each one of these could be a step. And then maybe here we can start to see the top stair. And then here we can see more of the top stair. Now our eyes are seeing more of it. And then down here, maybe there's a flat space. I don't know. We could do a flat space where it comes all the way down. And then here we have another drop down. But this time we can actually see the top next stair. I'm just going to do another white line. Sal, good night. Take care. Thank you for being here. So yeah, so here we can see on again we can see the top. So if this is the step, right? I'm doing like in perspective, little perspective lens, right? So this is the next step, and it's going to drop down. So again, we can have another dark layer. Although I am changing the perspective here, so let's not do that. And we can have another one. At some point, though, I think we can start adding nuance to the lighting here, and then we can do that later as well. We could even do another weird layer like this. Some strange stairs that go up and then they curve. Some really weird, wonky things. We could do that. Or I could just keep going with this path and just make these lines go like this. Go straight up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just make them go straight up. That's better. But I don't want the stairs perfect. I think I'm going to want a little bit of jaggedness, make them look a bit more like ruins. Okay, so I think that this works, right? We can see the bottoms of these. Also, these should be a little wider down low because we are looking more downward at them. Also, maybe this orangeness can be a little bit in shadow. I think that works. Neon stairs. Well, no, they're not neon. So this, I'm just representing the light with a light blue because we have this blue light, and then the darks are just darker. So I'm just representing them with two values right now: a light for the top step, and then dark for the bottom. So, for example, if I want to do little things here, I can start to put stuff up on top of these stairs. Maybe there's statues or pillars up here. This again, we are looking up here, so I want to keep reminding myself, and this is something that I do struggle with, is I really have to keep reminding myself that I'm looking up because I want to make sure I'm drawing the underside of this area, right? Because if I forget that, it's very easy to start drawing it as if I'm looking head on at it, when that's not what I want. I do want to make it look like we're looking up at stuff. And sometimes it's just the little consistencies, like making sure the steps look like we're looking up at them as opposed to down. Like down here, this could be a little bit easy to misinterpret. And that should make it look like we're looking up the stairs. There, just some stuff kind of looking up. But now we have a problem, right? Or I have a problem. I always have a problem. Yeah, now this is going to be flat, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to go about this. And do I have like a new light source? This is a really big foreground that I didn't really plan for, so I'm not sure what to do in the foreground. I can reintroduce some of that red in there. Hey, Silly Spectre, how are you? Also, thank you for the follow. Right now, they almost look wet because they are reflecting the light so much. Yeah, no, they do. And it could be. It could be like some weird damp area. And it does look like that. Maybe there's things like this. And I'm just kind of, I don't know, making things up as I go and seeing where it takes me. Maybe some of these are in front. Also, things like making sure that if we're supposed to be looking down at this stuff, that maybe we make the tops of these also reflect some of the light. Ooh, maybe statue. Yeah, I could do statues. Yeah. And these are, again, we're looking down at these. And then about right here, right, this is where we've decided that we're going to start looking up at stuff. This is where we can start doing these kinds of shapes. Like the reason I'm going squiggles this way, right, just like if we had a can, right, we would see the top edge, there'd be a hidden edge back here, and then we'd see the bottom edge here, right? So this edge is what I'm drawing, right? I'm drawing those things. That way, as I can zag back and forth, it looks like we're looking up at this, right? You can also do like the undersides of the details, like there'd be like shading in this part. So I do that a lot too, where I just zigzag back and forth, right? If my eyes are here, right, eyeline they would loop around this way, and then they would start to go upward. So that's kind of what I do a lot. Just to sort of try and trick my brain into seeing how things would look. Just for drawing purposes. And like up here, we're really looking up high, right? Like we're seeing the undersides of things completely. Same up here, undersides. I'm again just drawing these. And then as I get down here to eye level, These are straight, and then we are coming the other way. Just trying to keep it looking the same. But now that we're on the ground, right, I can do whatever I want down here. I could do another set of stairs where we're really looking downward. I've done stuff like this before, but how they're changing size. Yeah, I mean, some of this is just me drawing it poorly, right? But also I haven't decided how I want to do this. Like I could make these look larger. I could add some of that blue back here. Like there's stuff I could do to make them look more the same size. But yeah, I'm more just trying to trick my brain into seeing it in perspective so that when I do more design and shape stuff, um, fine. And you always watching from the TV, never got a chance to follow. Oh, thank you so much, Silly Spectre. I'm doing well. I am doing well. It's very weird though to do a painting where I haven't really done any of. First of all, I'm doing a horizontal or a vertical painting, which is a little weird. Um, but yeah, I am not really haven't worked on the bottom half of the painting. I feel like I could just crop this painting and it would be like a normal painting. Like, look, it's just a normal painting now. If you had the opportunity to go back in time to choose the past, do you choose to do Twitch all over again or say, nah, I'd be better off without it? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, look, I love Twitch and the Twitch community, and don't take me thinking about it as a sign of I don't love it. Um, but I do wonder if there would have been ways to cultivate a community and this, the same sorts of friendships and just the interaction without doing the streaming. I mean, there are ways, for example, to be a part of another, like there are ways to be a part of the Twitch community and a very active member without actively streaming, right? But no, I think I would still do it. I think I would do it again for sure. There's probably there's things I would have done differently, I think, maybe. I don't know. I mean, that's a hard question. I have no idea. I probably would. I love streaming, and the community is great. And I mean, gosh, that's such a hard one. That is such a hard one. I don't know. Maybe it shouldn't be such a hard question. Because I mean, it's a huge time investment, and no, I love it. I still would have done it. But I mean, if I had to start over right now, is that what you're saying? Like, if it would feel like I'm starting over? I mean, I don't know. If I had all the same memories that I have now, I don't know. I think I would. I mean, that's a hard question, right? Would I have the same memories that I have now? Because if I still had the memories of the community and all that, I might just take this as an opportunity to do something different and like, get two runs at history instead of repeating the same thing. Like why not try something new? I might end up regretting the new choice, but at least then I have a little bit more, you know. I don't know. That gosh, I don't, questions like this are hard. There's too many factors and it's never as easy as like, oh yes, I'd do it again. Like it's not a hard question because I don't think it's worth it. I do and I love it, but it's a hard question because I there's always a what if I did something else question. And now I get an opportunity to try that again. Heck yeah, why not try something different? Right? See what the alternative future is. But yeah. No, I don't know though. I don't think I would change a thing. I think I would still stream. I mean, there might be ways that I do it differently with streaming. Also depends on how far can I change the history even before, like go back further. Like I wish when I started streaming, my biggest regret was that I didn't start streaming earlier. So like yeah, if I could go back and start streaming even earlier, like when Twitch was really taking off, heck, oh that would be great, right? Be one of the first art streamers to start. Heck, absolutely. Especially if my skills, you know, that I've grown over the years stayed. You're thinking about your streaming career instead of all the disasters you could warn people about? I mean, that was the question, right? Wasn't that the question? Yeah, definitely not. I mean, yeah, obviously a lot of stuff would change. But no, that was the question about streaming. I'm trying to stick to the question. Obviously, if I could go back in the future, yeah, there'd be a lot of things would change. And in theory, I could probably do whatever I wanted, and I'd end up being successful at it because I would know so much. But yeah, you never know. Okay, what do I want to do with this painting? I mean, we have like a stairway. What's at the bottom of the stairway? Let me try some stuff. Let me take these shapes and just keep on making it go down. Ooh, I have an idea. Maybe this will work. And then these can be like that, and then I can go like this. And then I can select the inverse, and then I can go like this. Something like that, maybe? That doesn't really look like a... I feel like this shape doesn't quite work, but it's not bad. I kind of like the idea of that, where we're really trying to look down now. And then this is like the far one. No, maybe the scale gets too wonky there. No, it is fun to paint stairs, though. I will say, I like staircases. Now, I want to make some of these stairs look a little bit uneven. Maybe there's some cracks in the floor here. Something like that. Stairs are nice since it's a natural contrast between... Yeah, exactly. There's this nice repetition between light and dark. Yeah, I love that. I don't like the weird warmth that I have going on here. But I do think it's good to have warmth, but I'm not sure how I want to achieve that. I guess I can play with things like color dodge here in a moment. Maybe this is some like weird ancient thing and there's like going to be funny patterns and glyphs on the ground. Or maybe there's like a... Yeah, there could be statues. Oh, shapes sticking out. Just trying to sketch in just some shapes that indicate a sense of perspective, design, basically anything that shows that, oh hey, there's been thought put into this, even if it's not by me. Like, oh, there at one point you can tell these things were fancy, right? Just by making little shapes and contours and interesting patterns and wiggles, carving things in. Maybe there's one thing I want to avoid, and this I almost fell into it because the reason I'm thinking about it now is because this is where my brain went. But You know, I was reading a what annoys you in fantasy shows thread on Reddit, and one of the things somebody mentioned was that whenever people walk into an old like a tomb or an old castle where there's like nobody there, there's always seems to be um torches that are lit. Like where the heck did they why are they lit? Why are they just burning? Right, this happens in video games all the time. You go into some weird dungeon and there's like torches. Like, dude, first of all, those things. Somebody point out like those types of torches probably only last like an hour and a half. Like somebody's relighting them. Like this is like a full time job. Yeah, like magic torches. Like what the heck? I get it if they're like a blue light or something really funky and they're trying to show their magic. But like if it's just regular torches, like I don't want to just. So I was really tempted right here to just take like orange and be like, orange torch fire, which I could do, right? There could be orange torch fire here, looking all cool and lighting stuff. I mean, it looks nice. I am tempted to do that, but it does make me think of like, okay, well, what is this thing? Why are they lit? Maybe it's not that. Maybe they're like eyes that are glowing from this in the statue. Hello, Rosenthorn. How are you? And maybe they're like eyes in the statue that I draw in these. It looks like a book cover or something. You could do some little orange ghosty sprites, will-o-wisps instead. True, true. Yeah, things that look like little spirits. Yeah, just kind of floating off in the middle of nowhere. Like this. Give them some little eyes. Well, some attitude. Just kidding. Good to know. How's everyone doing here? Or you're doing good. How's everyone? I'm doing well. Today started off a little, I don't want to say rough, but it was, I had an annoying day today at the start. I did my taxes finally. Just doing things, financial stuff, filling out papers and submitting forms and just digging up information and oh gosh, it's just stressful. Are you chill? How are you, Rosenthorn? Oh, yeah. It's going, but it's going good. I'm in the mood of painting now. I'm happy, not stressed out, pretty relaxed. Kind of looks like a glowing tiki. Yeah, maybe. I want to play around with the lighting a bit more. So I'm just going to take glow dodge, take a blue, and just start color dodging the heck out of this. Just seeing what happens. Maybe I can spotlight some stuff. Maybe I bring in some orange in part of it. Maybe the whole thing's, oh, no, that's too much. Or maybe all of this is warm and then the blue is just super blue. Wait, hear me out. Glowing cat. Also, somebody's making a lot of noise with their truck. I feel like it's a very American thing. Revving up your truck engine. Okay, so there's that. Glowing cat, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to see. So there's, I mean, we could do the bright light. Maybe no lights back there. Maybe there's blue lights, glowing bluish lights. We could do a cat wandering up the stairs. I like that. Maybe, that's not a bad idea. A glowing, I mean, I don't know about glowing cat. Let's try it. Let's try a cat. Should it be glowing blue or glowing? I feel like glowing orange would be the best way. Right? We'd want glowing orange for sure. I think, right? Don't we want... This place screams for a cat. Kath, are you doing the thing where you suggest an idea, then when I repeat the idea, you're like, yes, what a good idea. Like, as if it were my idea, now you're confirming my good decision, like, to get me on board. Is that what you're doing? You're like, hear me out, glowing cat. I'm like, yeah, maybe a glowing cat. And you're like, yeah, this place. I don't know if that's what you're doing or not, but I love it. It sounds like you're, because I know you. No, I'm just agreeing that it doesn't matter if it glows as long. Okay, okay, as long as there's a cat. Reverse gaslighting. Well, I've seen this happen before, where somebody's like they'll say an idea and then they'll make the person feel like they came up with the idea, kind of, or like, oh wow, that is a really good idea, or like a subtle compliment to themselves, maybe. Like what if we added a cat? I'm like, maybe a cat could work. Oh, that's such a good idea. I don't know. Yeah, I think a cat. I only reverse gaslight on Saturdays. Okay. Why? Wait, why Saturdays? I'm missing something. What happens on Saturdays where reverse gaslighting's a thing? Ancient cat civilization with tons of cats. Why not? Why not? I don't know. Just Saturday's the day of reverse gaslighting. Is that a thing? I guess it is now. Huh. Okay. Okay, so cat coming down the stairs. Let me find a reference for cat walking downstairs. Cat walking downstairs. Oh, that's a cute one. Not doesn't really fit what I'm looking for, but it's cute. Okay, let me look for some references here. Um, I think I want it coming down towards the camera, just because I think it makes sense. Hmm. Oh god, the stupid cat walking down the stairs illusion. Have you guys seen that? It's everywhere. When I type cat walking down the stairs, that's all that pops up. Stupid cat illusion. I don't. Ah, I didn't even know it was that popular, but it seems to be everywhere. Oh, you've never seen this? Okay, here, let me show you. This. Is this cat walking down or up the stairs? Is it going up or down? Going down? Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's 100% walking down. But you can see how if you were to draw a cat walking upstairs, you basically would draw it the same way. But yeah, nobody would make steps that are shaped like this, right? That little lip is definitely the thing of the step. Has to be walking down. Yeah, it's definitely walking down. It's just a weird perspective. If it's going up, the perspective is horrid. Yeah. To be fair, it's also a terrible perspective if you're trying to show the cat walking down the stairs because it looks like we're lower. Like, yeah, it's just a weird perspective. But anyway, it's like this wall is what's confusing. I feel like the walls make it look like they're not parallel to the stairs. So like the grain of the wall, like for example, if you were to draw lines parallel, like this is eye level, right? Like out here ish. No, no, no. This is all eye level. Our eyes are down here, right? But anyway, this wall has like these lines going upward, and so it's like, what the heck is happening here, right? Like, why does these wall feel like there's a texture going this way? Like, it's just such a weird, bizarre texture for walls that totally confuse your brain. At least for me, that's kind of the confusing part Because normally you'd have the wall texture going like this, right? You'd have like, if this is your eyes down here, you'd have it like this, right? And it would dial in on whatever's, wherever your eyes are, they would kind of go that direction. And they'd be in perspective, but you get my idea. Like this would be going backward. But that's not what we see. Anyway, it is a very weird wall. I don't know what's going on with the texture. It looks like a fake texture, to be honest. But anyway. So, yeah, I'm trying to find some references of cats walking downstairs, and I'm being bombarded by that image. So let me go to Pinterest. Pinterest. Let's go. Okay, cat walking downstairs. Come on, Pinterest. Cat walking down the stairs. What do you have for me? Oh, more of the same stupid illusion, of course. Thank you for being everywhere. Hmm. Very annoying. You mean white gold dress? At least it's not as bad as that stupid blue, black, white gold dress. Vana, are you trying to start stuff in chat? Trying to start the controversy? I see how it is. Trying to rile up chat with your white and gold dress. I'll be honest, when I first saw the blue black dress illusion thing, I thought it was a white and gold dress. I thought it was just under a blue light. Which in hindsight, it was extremely overexposed in the background, which kind of was a sign to me anyway that it was being backlit and overexposed, which is why I thought it was in shadow. But I guess it makes sense the whole thing was just being flooded with light, and the overexposure made the blue be more washed out. That's why I thought it. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like both were totally justified. Vana is right though. Ah, you realize there's literally been photos of the actual dress to establish the validity of the blue black. Unless I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I can't find good references for this, but anyway. Propaganda. Alright, propaganda. That's fair. It's red and green, by the way. Fake news. Every photo I've seen, it shows both of colors, so everyone is right. I remember, so I'm a big like lighting person. I like thinking of lighting. I like understanding, for example, how you could shine. For example, whenever I paint white, right, I always paint it bluish because typically it's under like a blue ambient light. And if I want to paint it in direct sunlight, I'll paint it a little bit in the yellow range, right? And typically you don't just use pure white, right? You do that if it's like overexposed or something. Um, and so I remember I was talking to my brother. This is my little brother. I love my little brother. He's great. But this was like one of the few times I can remember where I don't know if he was intentionally misunderstanding me and like playing stupid, but it frustrated me to no end. When I asked, we were talking about the stupid blue black dress thing, and he's like, of course it's blue black. And I'm like, okay, well, you say of course, but like clearly people are debating this, and it's like, there's some controversy, right? And like it's not of course, and why do you think of course? And he's like, well, let me show you. And he brought it into color. He brought it into Photoshop and color picked and like, see, it's blue and black. I'm like, oh my god. Like, no, please. You color picking it doesn't like that's not what we're debating. We aren't debating which color the pixels are. We were debating what color the dress is. And I was like, this is so frustrating. It'd be like debate if I were to type in like yeah, I mean, I think he was trolling me, but that is the one of the few times where I was so annoyed because I'm like, that's not even what people are discussing. People aren't saying it's a blue dress because the pixels are blue, right? Anyway, it was he technically was right, and actually both technically and he was right, right? It is a blue dress, but it's just that reasoning was so bad that it broke my brain. Summer Dragoness, how are you? Welcome in. He did get me. I don't know if he's ever heard me tell that story or even knows that I find that moment hilarious, or if he even understands why what he did was silly. I don't know. I haven't ever talked to him about it, but I'd like to think he was trolling me, and that he looks back on that moment and is like, "I got him." He was right for the yeah, he was right for the wrong reasons, right? And that's God, I feel like we could get into conspiracy theory talk here and how frustrating it is when people arrive at conclusions for terrible reasons, and then in like 1 out of 100 times they're right, and they're like, "See, I knew what I was talking about." It's like, no, you didn't. You didn't know. You had no idea. You just happened to be right. Anyway, that. I feel like that is a thing that, yeah, that frustrates me. Okay, let's paint a cat walking downward. I'm gonna put the cat right here because this is just gonna make the silhouette, make the ears. Smart dumb people are really annoying. I wouldn't call that smart dumb people. I mean, I feel like that is people who just don't understand that you can think in logical ways and you can think in unlogical ways. Have I seen the one with the horse that's walking backwards and forwards? I haven't. I've seen the one with the girl on the swing and you don't know which way she's swinging. But do you have a link to it? I'd love to see it. Yanny or Laurel? I think I heard Laurel. I never heard Yanny. I only heard Laurel. I like that one because people actually just heard different things and it wasn't a matter of like trying to I think I heard, I don't remember, but I always liked that one because it was people actually heard different things, right? It's not your brain trying to reason something, right? It was just it was like a matter of what you could hear, right? Like I don't think you could switch between the two, right? There's a lot of but I don't think could you choose to hear the other? I don't think you could choose. I couldn't. I could never get it to hear the other one. Oh, you can? Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea. Okay, well that's fascinating. I had no idea. I don't know how to do that then. I feel like my audio when it comes to audio, I just don't understand a lot of how we hear things, and like honestly, before I had heard that illusion thing, I didn't know it was possible that two people could hear totally different things. And not just like different syllables, like I mean, I guess they are the same syllables, but like I know those things where like people will mumble and then they read the words and then you can hear them. I know those illusions, right? There's the one with like some English people in a bar chanting, and each time they chant, they put up different words to the chant, and it sounds like they're saying that because you're reading it along, and it tricks your brain. I understand those, right? I feel like that one is kind of obvious what's happening, and it kind of sheds some light on how your brain works. But the Yanny and Laurel are so different sounding. Like when I say Yanny and Laurel, they don't even sound like the same word at all, right? They're literally like different consonants, different everything, or like everything about it just seems different. Wonder if there's a practical application for it. For what? For different audio? Oh, I'm sure. Ah, there's an ad. Hold on, let me skip the ad. It definitely looks like it's walking backwards to me. First, can I flip it in my head? I couldn't see it walking forward. I can't see the horse walking backwards. Or sorry, I can't see it walking forwards. But horses do walk in a weird way. Like sometimes they like the way they put their feet down very like rigidly. I could totally see it being forward, but just it's tricking my brain. But no, I only see it walking backward. It's hard. I'm trying to switch it, but I don't know how to switch. Also, the weird cutting thing it does is annoying. How it just keeps looping, but it's not a very good loop. Yeah, I can't even get it to look like it's walking forwards. I kind of they did do a cut where it went from like leg position back to leg position forward, but then that was obviously the end of the loop, and it was like a really poorly. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't know that was one. I had heard that there was the one with the girl on a swing, and it was like a still frame. No, it wasn't a still frame. It was a video, but she was completely silhouetted. And I guess that one there actually isn't enough to know for sure if she's going swinging left to right or right to left. Like you don't know which direction. Um, Here, let me see if I can find it. It's really fascinating. Swing, swing girl illusion. I don't know what. Oh yeah, this. Okay. So this video, it took me a while to see it the both directions, but you can see it both directions. And I think people were saying there actually isn't enough information because of the perspective is so flat. So are they going? So oh wait, you can't see that. Hold on. Let me show you. What the heck is Bing Video? Oh God, no! This is YouTube. What's happening here? Let me bring this up and so I can show you. But first, let me loop. Okay, so this is the video. Basically, it's not even a thing. Anyway, so basically, the controversy is the girl swinging from it. So like, if you think he's facing the cam, so is the person facing the camera? Or are they facing the building? So I think initially you're like, okay, they're obviously facing away from us. I think that's the intuitive one. No, I don't think she's facing. Yeah. So I see it as facing the house, but once it flips in your brain, you're actually like, oh my God, it's weird. Like I think this one is even more confusing. Look at the bar. Well, yeah, I think what's confusing is that there's technically three bars on each side. The bar is weird. Yeah, it's very weird. It's hard to tell, and I don't know if there's actually enough info to tell. I'm sure there is a solution. Facing the camera? I feel like you can see the bottoms of her feet. When she, so like, I feel like she might be facing the camera, and when she swings forward is when her feet are to the left. So when she's at the left, her feet are facing the camera. If you guys can't see it, guys, I can't see her face. Okay, so when her feet are pointing to the left, like all the way straight out, like right now, that's when her feet are pointing towards the camera, and you can see the soles of her feet. Are y'all? You can't see it. When you can see it, it's weird. But like, so here, okay, you can't see my cursor. Dang it! I wish you could see my cursor because then I could point. But like, so when she goes all the way to the left is when her feet are pointing directly at it, and she's back. And when she's up, like when she's to the right, that's when her back is furthest closest to the building. I can't see her facing the camera for the life of me. It is hard. I it's weird, but once you see it, you're like, oh my God. Facing the camera seems more valid. So that's actually my kind of my view. I can't feel it. She's always looking to the house for me. Really? You have to look at the swing set. It's really weird. Anyway, I'm not sure how long I want to spend on this, but yeah, that's a anyway. It's very bizarre. Here, I'll link the video because I think it's here we go. Maybe you can eventually see it. Let's watch all night. Yeah, a stream of watching that stupid illusion. That's what we'll do. That's it. That's the stream. Pack it up. There's a lump behind her head. It looks so like for me when she swings and her feet are like her body moves to the left, it looks like you can see the soles of her feet. I don't think you can, and I genuinely don't think there's enough information in that video to know for sure. I think that's one of the few illusions where you in standard anatomy anyways, you can't hold your legs perpendicular to yourself backwards. No, it would work both ways. I think it would work both ways in that one. I think that's one of the few illusions where you genuinely it could work either way. Because she's just a silhouette. I mean, there's also like she's stationary and the camera the camera she's stationary and I love that take. That's the best take so far. Definitely the best take. I like it. But yeah, I thought it's a really interesting illusion because it's one of the few ones that aren't like, oh yeah, well everyone's just stupid and saying dumb. Like the horse walking backwards one, I don't understand how it's not the horse walking backwards, right? But I will also admit there are times where I can't see the reverse. Like, have you seen the dancer silhouette spinning? It's literally just a silhouette, and it's engineered to, it's built to make it look like it can go either way. And once you can flip that one, it's like, okay, well, there is obviously no real answer because it's just a silhouette. But it looks like, but your brain does choose one initially. I love optical illusions. They're both silly and fun. What if the cat has long feet? No. What am I doing here? I think I goofed up. Maybe I delete the cat. Maybe I put in. How do I want to do that? Oh, slide the show. Thanks. Loving how this piece turned out. Thank you. So I think what I want to do is put. I don't know why I keep flipping the image. That's what I'll be, a silhouette rarely seen and yet believed in. Deep. How do I want to do this? Do I want the cat in the middle? I guess maybe the cat can just be sitting on the stairs. Or maybe the cat is sitting down here. I was lurking. I left to make coffee and I come back and it's catless. Where did the cat? Steph, I didn't eat the cat, okay? The cat's coming back. It's here. How's it going, Steph? The cat was Thanos snap. Joe, you're making a lot of people sad. Am I? How am I making people sad? People gotta, I don't know, stop being sad. Just kidding. Lodge, thanks for the follow. I was ready to riot. Yeah. No one even suggested you ate the cat. Kind of defensive, dude. Right? No, people always accuse me of deleting things and removing it and rigging the vote. Oh god, we had a lot of rioting today. The cat found a new painting and is happy there? Yeah, exactly. Ring dancer. Oh yeah, that one. That's a classic one. Where is the person rotating clockwise or counterclockwise? And the answer is once you can see it both ways, and I don't think there's a real answer because it's just a silhouette. Like, I see them moving clockwise, but it's hard for me to see it the other way. But once that you see it the other way, you're like, oh yeah, that's equally as valid. Brains are just weird. Clockwise, yeah, it's hard to. A lot of those optical illusions, I feel like there's an intuitive way that more people see it. How can you flip your perception like that? I don't understand. I don't know. On that one, I have to work at it for a bit. I don't know if there's. I feel like each one of those illusions, there's always a slightly different way. So what am I doing? I don't know how I want to put the cat in here. So I didn't plan this image for a cat. Like, do I just want the cat just sitting? Hold on, I gotta think about this. Cat sitting. That's what I'm gonna put. Just cat sitting. It's always hard for me to add things like this. I just want to find a good image of a silhouette of a cat. I don't really like to just paint cats from the back in like a single view. But maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll just go really simple today. I don't know. Steph, how are you doing, by the way? Ah, yeah. The people that were coming back clockwise. I'm gonna go Duolingo and sleep. Have a nice rest. See ya, Kath. Good luck Duolingoing. Wait, Kath, what are you learning on Duolingo? I forgot. Are you learning Spanish? What if you the make the in the loaf position? Nah, I'm doing Spanish C. I'm in hermit mode. I feel like today was too peoply. I feel that. The only issue with all okay, whatever. No, I don't want to do the loaf position. I My issue with silhouettes of animals is that often, even when I end up painting them, I don't like. I like to paint them from views that are not just front facing or back facing, right? And obviously in this case it is. Yeah, but I will put some orange light. Do I like that though? I kind of like it that. Hmm. I think I liked it better before I deleted it. Dang it! I've ruined my cat. This is tough. Adding because okay, I'm gonna go back to this version. I'm gonna go back to this. Let me just make a new layer. I'm gonna add in white. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add this, and I'm gonna drop the opacity, and I'm gonna make a new layer. Now I'm gonna draw the cat. No, the poor kitty. Sorry, guys. That is what it is. Now I'm gonna draw the cat here. Nice and big. The kitty will be here and here. This will come this way. And then this little paw like that. And then this. And then we'll go like that. Because this totally is how cats look. We tally his rants, why not the cats too? I feel like he's murdered like 5 or so by now. Oh my goodness, you guys. Call PETA. Alrighty. Yeah. This stream went grim. Yeah, you do tally my rant, so I guess yeah, you can tally my cat murders. That's valid, I guess. Okay, so there's a cat. That's a big boy. That's a chunky cat. Steph, I'm in hermit mode. I feel like I was two people. Oh yeah, yeah. Hermit mode's good though, Steph. I feel yeah. I mean, hermit, yeah. Nothing wrong with hermit mode. I mean, your job is extremely people-y, by the way, so you have every right to be in hermit mode. Okay, maybe this cat needs a little bit of white light on them. Or yellow. Or any of the... Nope, none of the cats were named. Does that make it better? That makes it less murdery, right? It's only murder if they have a name. I don't think that's how it works. Okay, so I am trying to add in... And then there will be some... This cat's butt. I feel like this cat needs to move up. And then this part needs to move down. And then this part go down here. And maybe there can be some orange eyes on the cat. Orange glowy cat eyes. This looks creepy as heck, but that's okay. It will eventually look like a cat, I swear. I swear this is gonna look like a cat when I'm done. It doesn't look like a cat right now, I realize. But it will. It will look like a cat. Your death list is sadly incomplete, but we have Nethercato, Road Mittens, Mittens 2, Frog Bear Mountain 1 and Mountain 2, Rafikian Simba, Space Draft, Space Witch, Flock of Birds. Okay, birds don't count. Happy Rock, Box Horse, Baby Robot Dude, Chatty, Blinky, and Unicorn Bunnycorn, Kitty Gonzalez, and the 5 Stair Kitties. Dang. This stream is a slaughterhouse. It's not that. Oh my goodness, you guys. No, see, we are giving life to these animals, right? They wouldn't exist if I didn't bring them into creation. So we can kill them because we've created them, right? Isn't that how it works? Is that... Did I just like explain all the murder from the perspective of religion? Did I do something that I shouldn't have done? God giveth and God taketh away. Well, you don't keep them in creation. Clearly those birds were actually government drone. Exactly. Therefore can't exactly. Thank you. We actually wait, yeah. We talked about this yesterday. Literally we talked. But wait, were you there? I don't know your name in Discord. Were you in there? Do you have the same name in Discord? Am I confused? Am I confused? I don't remember. We literally talked about this yesterday in Discord. I missed you. Okay, yeah, we talked about conspiracy theories yesterday, and that was one of them, and how just we were just having a good time laughing at stuff. What's your Discord? I'll join immediately. My Discord is there. Thank you, Crunchy. So yeah, I am gonna try and cast a light on this, but I don't know how I want to do that. Oh gosh, time is cruising. I've wasted so much time on this. What was that? Some loud boom. Okay, so I need to cast a shadow under this cat. I think this will work for a cat, but the shadow's not going to work. We got to cast the shadow. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. I'm not great at drawing cats, especially walking downstairs. Maybe it's running, so I can draw the actual... Nah. And then draw this. No, that looks funny. I'm just kind of scratching in shapes. Time for me to sleep. Take care, Vana. My Discord has been weird today, so I didn't get a notification, but that stare kitty looks awesome, Spark. Joe, wasting time on killing cats. Yeah. Conspiracy theories are fun. Yeah, but I think... Yeah, I don't know. I'm someone who... Like, I do think they are fun kind of to laugh at, but also... I feel like it's like one of the lowest levels of like entertainment because I feel like it's just I don't feel like I need to give it that much. I feel like I'm giving it too much attention just by consuming it. And if I consume it with others, then I'm like giving the views and YouTube algorithms more like I don't know, I'm giving them too much attention just by laughing at them. And I feel like in some ways that's like harmful. Do you guys ever feel like that? Like I don't know. I always feel like I'm doing harm by even mentioning it. Because then people look it up and it's like, oh my god, this is so stupid, and the algorithm's like, wow, people really like this, and then the people who see it are like, oh, this might be real, and then it's like, oh my god. It's fun to laugh until some of this starts to speak. Well, I mean, look, again, I don't think it mad like there are such things as conspiracies, right? Like it's happened before where there's people trying to cover stuff up, and typically they're exposed eventually. And but I think it matters how you arrive at a conclusion, and if you're arriving at a conclusion that is just not founded on anything, even if you end up being correct, that doesn't mean you should keep believing the conspiracy theories, right? I want to like being correct for the wrong reasons, as Kath put it earlier. It's like we don't, yeah. Like, how do you know what's real? Well, we do the best we can, and there are some ways that are proven to be better ways of knowing things than others, and I'd rather focus on those ways. Also, what the heck? My whole painting got shifted, and I don't like that. It's fun to laugh until it starts being. Well, that's the thing though. Like I think it's fine to laugh at stuff and how silly it is, but the problem is that what's funny to you might be potentially a viable idea to someone else. And not everyone thinks things through in a reasonable manner. To some people, a talking head on YouTube is equally as valid as someone who actually understand or someone who actually actively works in a field that's researching things, and the entire field seems to agree except there's one random person in that field who doesn't. Like there's I don't know, I mean at the end of the day we aren't going outside and doing the experiments ourselves to figure stuff out, because we do have there is a certain amount of trust, right? And even when people say, oh, do your own research, like you're still trusting some sources. And I feel like it's I don't know. I guess I've never liked the do your own research line of arguing because I think that's exactly how those people arrive at conspiracy theories is because they've done their own research and they suck at doing research because they don't know how to research and they don't know how to, you know, get multiple sources and understand evidence and yeah, it's just I don't know. I'd rather trust people who actually dedicate their lives to things, right? And not one random crazy nut job on YouTube or something. I don't know. It's so yeah. I don't know. Conspiracy theories are a weird topic because it's I feel like it actually is a problem that people are allowing themselves to believe a lot of nonsense and not only believe it but actually like share it around. Like I think it's fine to maybe have some weird half-baked ideas, but I think it's a big difference between you doing that and you start acting and changing your daily life on it. I mentioned this yesterday when we were in Discord. It's like if you hear some random health tip, right? Like, oh, if you eat this weird thing or consume this chemical, it's gonna cure you of a disease or something. And so your very next grocery store trip, you go and buy that thing, right? That's insane. Like, don't go and change your diet, your shopping habits, your data. Don't do things in your day. Don't act on it if all you've done is like nothing except stumble across an algorithm fed video. Like at the very least, like I mean, heck, some things times you could just literally type in like to see if people are talking about it being a scam or a hoax or something. You know, sometimes there's so much overwhelming evidence of people saying this is total garbage. You're like, okay, well, clearly people think this random new cure all is not real. Maybe I shouldn't go. Anyway. So yeah, don't do that stuff. Just just wait. It's okay to have not be, you don't have to change your life on a whim based on some random thing you've heard. Like you can kind of wait to have a super strong opinion on everything. Anyway, I'm not sure where I'm going with this talk. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. Anyway, so yeah, this cat, let's slap in a color dodge. And I do feel like I want some light. Glowy cat. No, I don't think we want the cat glowing that much. How do I want to do this? I mean, we could put the light here. I mean, we don't have to have this color of light or anything. I'm just trying to figure out how I want to put the lighting on this thing. And where's the lighting coming from is probably more important. I guess just little torches up here, maybe. And then maybe down here we can actually get some more of this. Maybe something like that. Again, this is a little bright. I'm just trying to figure out the colors. I could change this in lots of ways, but and then of course the cat would cast a shadow, but maybe a double shadow. And then this would cast a shadow. I feel like that's not bad. And then I can take just a regular brush and start painting in manually some of these places. So maybe there's little wisp thingies, like just little fire things. Am I still connected? Yeah. Oh, also thanks for the hydrate command. I actually drank almost all of my tea today. which is really, really rare. I almost never finish my tea. Yeah, maybe we have a little bit of... Oh, flamingo. Yeah, I am actually sitting in flamingo pose. Okay, so here's this little fiery shapes. And then here I'm gonna just take these same things. So maybe there's some light in here. Of course, light under this wall. And again, we're painting on the underside of things. So we can go like this. Light under here. How are y'all doing? Hey, Rodri, long time no see. I mentioned you already today. We posted a link to your thing. I don't know if yeah, we don't actually normally bring it up because it's normally not in the conversation. But yeah, how are you, Rodri? Long time no see. I hope you've been well. Having a wonderful time, lots of laughs, relaxation, listening to more rants. Yeah, just lots of ranting. But it's it's getting towards the end of the day, so we're slowing. I'm slowing down. Yep, all good. Learning some programming things. Nice. What sort of programming stuff? I mean, I probably won't know, but I probably won't know what you're talking about when you say. But I'm always curious. Do you feel like it's a never-ending job with learning new stuff and programming? I assume so. But I'm trying to paint some rocks and some... Downloading Team Fortress 2 to play with friends. Oh, nice. It's been a long time since I've heard anything about Team Fortress. I've never played it, but I heard it's good. It's a library that lets you replace parts of a static website by adding just a couple of words. Oh, cool. The cat be Thayer Gross. You mean Eine Katze? It's Thayer Gross? I guess you aren't that far, are you? You're not quite there yet. Maybe you are. I don't even know that. No, that's how you say a Katze. It's the Katze is sehr gross. Would be the cat. Never mind. I'm bad at German. Yeah, I just learned sehr. Okay. Yeah, sehr is very, and gross is tall. So the cat isn't or big. But schön is beautiful. So if you want to say the cat is beautiful, I think you'd say die Katze ist sehr schön. And that would be the cat is very beautiful. I think. I don't actually I'm bad at speaking on stream. It's so much easier when I'm doing the app, and yeah, I'm learning German, or I'm trying to. I would like to say the cat is beautiful and chunky. Schön und chunky. I don't know how you say chunky. I guess big is gross, so. Goni Chini go wait, what's that? What's that? I don't know what that is. Let's all learn German. Yeah, so I am on Duolingo. If you want to add me, my username is the same as it is everywhere. It's JStiller30. Trying to make this look like there's actual Genshin. I don't know what that is. Genshin's a game. I know that. But yeah. I found the B key. On Windows, you gotta hit Windows key plus period. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I don't know what you call that thing. I don't know what it is on my phone, though. I always just get a typo, but it lets me get a typo. I don't. I'll admit I like it. I like Duolingo so much on the phone. I don't think I could go to desktop. It's so nice to just be able to tap the stuff, and it feels extremely primitive and interactive in a way that is, I feel like it's just great. Alt 0223. Worky. Nice. Okay, so anyway, here's this. I'm starting to get something that's looking good. Kinda. These should be more gray, probably. This can be more orange. This can be a bit orange. This should not be orange. I think if I go back here, these could be orange too. And then maybe down here, there can be a bit of orange. I don't know. Let's try color dodge again. It's called S-set, Joe. Oh, I didn't know that's what it's called. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. John Cena. What are you talking about? I feel like there's a lot going on right now. I'm so confused. Oh, I did not mean to pick that color. Oh, that's bright. I know making things this bright is not recommended. There's a John Cena meme of him doing an ice cream ad in Chinese or something. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I never really got into John Cena. The whole wrestling thing is just not something that I feel like it was very niche, and it just, yeah, never got into it. But I get that people like it. From Joe's niche fan base. I mean, die Katze ist sehr schön und nett. Exactly. There you go. The cat is very beautiful and nice. That's about the extent of my German right there. Like that is pretty much an I can read that. Nice. 2 days genius. Holy hey Taps, how are you? Taps, how are you? Taps is also learning German with us. We've got a whole crew here. We're just gonna turn into a German stream. We're just talking about you, Taps. But yeah, anyway, I'm about ready to end stream. Wow, Rodri, yeah, Rodri's here too. Taps, you're great. Nice. Taps, what are you working on? Or what you doing? Da. Da. I don't even know what da is. I assume it's something. Colita Coliguita. Coliguita, is that colleague? Nuta is also studying programming. Yeah, seriously, Taps has gone from like nothing to like actually making good stuff, and like Taps is basically pro. I'm emailing Kathy some horse content. Very important. I think Kath has already gone to sleep for today. She said she was gonna do her Duolingo lessons and then go to sleep. Said collegiata. Collegiata. Okay, that makes sense. Like collegiate. Leagues. Oh no. I'm gonna message her on Discord. Okay. Yeah, maybe she's still awake. Maybe she was just wanting to an excuse to get out of stream. She didn't want to be here because she was modding, and she was like, I don't want to do it this part-time unpaid job. I don't want to work for free. I need to go do actual stuff. Maybe that's what her thought was. Which totally understandable. Nobody ever has to actually be here. I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, it's so simple, but I feel like we need more. I don't know. I think I'm good here, though. I don't want to keep going too long. But at the same time, I mean, this cat has its issues. Let's just put it that way. This cat be not looking great. That's okay. That's cat's okay. I mean, I think what I don't like about this image is it's just so symmetrical. It's too symmetrical. It looks funny. I think that's my gripe with it. Inside Out. I haven't seen it yet, but I've been told it's good. We are like that emotion movie, but potato version. Yeah, so Inside Out is a good movie. I enjoyed it. I mean, I think it has a simple and good message. I think some of the, I think I remember something saying like the science is a little off, which makes sense because they're literally just, you know. But I think the idea is pretty good. I mean, I think it's a nice framework, and the thing that it teaches kids is essentially like sadness is important. Essentially, like it's okay to be sad is essentially the entire premise of the movie. Sorry, I just spoiled the whole movie for anyone who hasn't seen that movie. It's okay to be sad. Emotions all have their purpose. Every single one of them. That is literally the point of the movie. It was less symmetrical in the sketch phase? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think, well, yeah, because I had more stuff like this. I had more things going on in the foreground, I think. But yeah, it definitely lost some of its symmetry. Or I added symmetry. Stop jobbing at 3 a.m. and watch a movie. Give it a curse of knowledge, some asymmetrical info. True. I mean, you could do, I don't know quite what you mean by that, but yeah, there's always ways to do things like that. Like if I wanted to add interesting patterns on the floor, right, you can add them in an asymmetrical fashion. You can sketch things out and, add cracks and there's always stuff you can do. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with this. I mean, again, it's very, very simple, but I think it works. Ooh, I know. Maybe there's a light. Oh, hold on, I have an idea. Could be like the cat is following these little light. Maybe not. That might be too much storytelling. I was gonna do a vacation, but I'm learning TypeScript instead. Yeah, keep on learning. I normally don't like to tell people to keep go, and I like to encourage them to treat themselves. But dang it, Taps, I feel like you're cruising so good. I'm just gonna have to say keep on going. You got this. I don't know. Taps is super inspiring to me. I feel like Taps's learning of things is very inspiring. Like everybody should learn from Taps. Like for somebody with like a full-time job, you are learning so much stuff on the side. It's insane. Stop. No, it's true though. I mean, it was literally you who got me to Duolingo. I mean, not that that's like intense learning or anything. That's like literally just playing games. But it sort of has this like, yeah. Anyway, I'm liking this image. I think I'm gonna call it quits here, or call it finished, not quits. I'm not quitting. I'll probably never work on it again though. I am happy with today's painting though, all things considered. It's not the best painting I've ever done. Maybe the kitty could be a bit more off center. Yeah, maybe. I thought about there's a lot of stuff I could do. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, this painting has some issues, and I think some of those are things like, for example, if I were to extend the canvas, I think I could have made. I mean, not that I'm gonna do this, but I could have made like this be the main thing, and so like you bring the focus this way, right? And the cat could have been stepping down at this angle, right? So the cat could have been here, stepping down, right? And so everything is a little bit off kilter and a little offside. That could have been a thing. See ya, Taps. Go sleep. See ya. If I were a pirate, I'd watch it on 9anime. What? No, no, no. We're not pirates here. Says the person who literally had a pirated version of Photoshop for a very long time. But no, I don't anymore. I still do technically pirate stuff. But I am not, Joe. I don't sin. Yeah, I'm totally not a pirate. No, I still torrent things. But again, torrenting doesn't mean pirating. Because there are totally legitimate torrents. Who wouldn't buy Photoshop? Who would download a car? You wouldn't download a car. Anyway. That movie ad was funny. Yeah. They were great. Like everybody who saw those was always thinking to themselves, heck yeah, I would. Imagine you can just download a car. And I feel like the new generation won't get it. I mean, yeah, it's just an anti-piracy bad. Which, in fairness, I feel like you have to take like if there was such a widespread anti-piracy campaign, like you have to feel like that it was actually a big deal for them at that time. I mean, it probably still is, but dang, it's actually pretty crazy that was like a thing that everybody knows about was this campaign. Anyway, I am trying to add some light. I feel like they make way less money with Netflix now. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I feel like there's probably a lot of really interesting financial stuff when it comes to like movie finance and Netflix, and I'm always still baffled at like how they determine all the stuff, like how they determine if a show is worth it for Netflix. And there's so many variables because obvious like they have subscribers, right? And making a new movie, making like mediocre content might get some like it's probably won't win people over to Netflix, but it might be enough to keep people to stay. And making really good stuff might get some people to sign up, but then you still have to have good enough stuff for them to not leave when they're done. And there's just so many factors, and it seems weird. Hi Joe, sorry to bother you with this. I use normal OBS. Do you know how I can make a source for every single alert so that I can make them pop up in different spaces? Since I copied the URL for alerts on Streamlabs and made a browser source in OBS, but every type of alert pop up is in the same box this way. And I think I don't know. So this might be a terrible solution because I've never done this before. But if I had to like the bad method of doing this, like it'd be the equivalent of like the destructive method of painting in Photoshop, like one layer, big edits and stuff. Um, the alerts from stream elements are configured on a website. You move their position. Yeah, I don't know how to do it in a good way, but I would imagine what you could do is this for every alert box, you could just disable all the alerts except the one you want and put the alert box where you want. That would be my assumption, is that you could just have a whole bunch of different alert boxes but disable the alerts for each. But again, that's a terrible way of doing it. I can't imagine there's not an easier way. But I'm pretty sure you can disable alerts, so you would just disable the ones you wouldn't want per box. I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm just guessing though. That's one of the things I would try. I am notorious for like when I don't know how to do something, I just cobble together pieces that just end up looking okay, or like it ends up fulfilling the function. But yeah, I don't know how to do that. That would be worth it. Definitely something to look into. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know though. Never ran across that. I'm gonna go blow dry your hair. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm gonna be done. Be alert. That's what the world needs, more alerts. Yeah. Be alert. Be alert. The world needs more alerts. Thanks, Dad. Uh, there. I love it. I always like that dad joke. The world needs more alerts. I feel like this blue back here is way too bright. Reminder to hydrate. Yeah, I'm gonna actually end stream. So thank you all for being here. Remember to breathe. Dang it, Rodri. Now we're all breathing manually, and we're blinking manually, and we're gonna go raid somebody. Who shall we raid? Is there anybody online? Is there anybody online? Chlor's online. We could raid Chlor. We like raiding Chlor. Chlor does chill digital landscapes. At least that's what her stream says. I think she does chill digital landscapes. And thinking about penguins, yeah. Yeah, so I don't actually know Exivox, but that's what I would try. I would just try and turn, if there's an option to turn them all of the alerts off, you could probably just turn them all off and keep duplicating. But yeah, like Rodri said, there's other ways with other things, so there probably is one for Streamlabs or OBS. Anyway, let's raid Chlor. Thank you all for being here. Truly, I appreciate it, despite my internet connections and my, I don't know. I guess I was kind of grumpy at the start of stream. I don't think I am now, though. But thanks for putting up with me. And we have a raid call. You can copy paste the raid call or make your own and spam Chlor and say hello. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for having us. No, thank you for being here. And hope to see you on Thursday. So next Thursday is my next stream. And yeah, see ya. See ya. Take care. Bye. And have a good night.